Hello, hello.
Bobby.
Hey, hey, hey.
Woo!
Woo, woo. What's
Oh,
up? What's up?
what's going on?
How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all
Are you
right.
guys excited? Heidi, what's up? Rita, how's it going? Look who's here. Nicole. Oh, you guys are just piling in. Fiona's here. Hey, guys. Jackie, what's up? Brooke, Brianna. Hey, Nikki. Oh, wow. We're all here. Oh, this is gonna be good. Hello, 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 hello. Hey, Mary, what's up?
I'll help you.
How's everybody doing?
Cool.
All right.
Excited.
This is super exciting. Hold on a second here. I want to make sure I have this. Is this going to be big enough? Can people see this? I want to make sure that people can read this. This is going to be okay. This is us, guys. This is us. Actually, yeah, let's do it like this. And then when we're ready, we'll talk about the names. So this is it, guys. This is our charts. We're not going to get started yet. We're just going to give people a chance to come on. There was basically 21 people said they were supposed to be here. So we're at 14 right now. And basically we're 1 minute past the hour. So I'm going to be pretty cool to start in a few minutes. I just kind of want to, drum out the introductions so that we can give some more people a chance to get on board. But if that's basically all we have, then I just want to make sure that these people are here. You guys are the ones who are actually going to work serious magic today. I'm going to make sure that I also grab. I want to meet all of you. Do it. Can I? Nope. Let's try that. Okay, cool. Craig's here. What's up, buddy? How you doing? This is going to be super much fun, guys. I am so excited to share this with you and to do this with you guys. You guys are doing me such a huge honor by allowing me this privilege in your life to show you what's going on and to actually give you something of power. I want to hear, I mean, this is going to be like, I'm going to say stuff. You guys can say things as much as you want, but just feel it if you want to. If you don't want to say anything, you don't have to. I'm not going to pick on you guys. If you have the feeling that you want to add to this, I would love it, okay? But at the same time, I want to hear from a few of the people who have had their session done with me and to say some things about it. I'm going to throw it over to Craig. I want to open up the chat as well. But this is basically so Craig, if you don't mind, I'd love to thank you first for allowing me to do this and for organizing this group. I'm so super stoked for this. This is going to be powerful, man. Can you hear me? Can I hear you? Hold on. Unmute yourself. How about now?
Can you hear me? You got me?
Hey, buddy. How's it going, man?
Awesome. Awesome. I'm awesome. Look at this. Can you see where I am?
Oh, that's awesome. Look at this.
This is just the backyard. No, I'm in beautiful Cairns.
Oh, that's
Guys,
awesome.
it's awesome to have Bobby together, and it's even better for us all to be aligning like this. Those of you that were at the Freedom event in July, I had Brother Bobby's back, man. He's a bit of a legend, and what I said then was really true. Like what you'll find is if you play full out with this session, if you don't hold back, if you get past yourself, if you take full responsibility for things, what you'll get out of this session is that if you're really, really, really ready to adopt this in here, down in here, if you're really ready to adopt this, it'll line up your whole life. It's the metaphor that I used back in July was like, the way I saw my life was a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. You buy it in a box and it's all the pieces are all broken up and they're all shuffled around, and you sort of tip it out onto a table. You can see what the picture sort of looks like. You're not quite sure where the pieces go, and some of the pieces are even upside down. And it's going to take you a long time. Eventually, you'll be able to solve the puzzle, maybe, if you keep trying, if you're persistent. But when you've got a legend like Bobby on your hands, not only does he show you what the picture's supposed to look like, he actually starts laying the pictures out for you. The whole grid's there. And you actually have a say in this as well. You can actually dictate what some of this is supposed to be like according to you. you know, and what aligns with you and your sense of purpose. And if you're ready to play full out, that's what you'll get out of this. That's what you'll get out of it. And I can't put enough on it. And that's why I've been more than happy to facilitate this. Legend having you, Bobby. And I might even hit you up one day and just make sure that I'm on the right path. I think I know I am. But yeah, you're a legend, mate. And thank you for facilitating this, mate.
Wow, that's just powerful. You really know how to set the tone, my friend. I love doing this. This is a passion for me, but like I'm very close to the recognizing and the realizing of what he's saying. What he's talking about is very true, and I respect that a lot. What you're trying to tell me, and I don't misuse that power, guys. I do not go into your lives to diminish you or to do anything bad on you, because I recognize that what this really is a way for you to create success in your life. So I wanted to find a way to still remain accessible, because in the last year things have happened and my prices are going up and my time is becoming more valuable, and it's because of my family. And so to offer a giant feeling of let this business explode for a bunch of people all at once and make it a little bit more bite size, it's a blessing to think this can work. This can work. I can absolutely do this. What I usually do inside of a session, I'll just give you guys an example. So you guys are taking a look at my screen here. I'm just going to quickly put this to the side. When I'm usually doing a session, it looks like this. This is someone's chart. So we have a first name, a middle name, last name. We have some birthday. We've got options for someone to take. We go diving in and we look at you from the, like on the inside. We look at you from all of the components that happen on the inside of you. Inside of a group session, it looks a little different. We see where you came from. We're seeing your birthday, and we're seeing what life path you have, what name you hold for your business. But are we taking a look at all of the individual components? Not in this time. That's very personal and super private. So I get that there's a space for that. But when I do a session, when I'm working with someone, I get a chance to do the story of them, and then we get a chance to take this technology and, like what Craig was saying, dictate what direction you'd like this to grow into. There's a lot of these numbers. You're just like, oh man, what does this mean? It's so cool. What are these cool numbers? I love colors. I was like, I needed to find a way that would make sense to like align stuff. So these numbers you're going to see in all of the rainbow form, those are for me. So I know what numbers things are, but the black, the yellow, the green, the purple, the red, those are to let us know if this is a number that's going to work or not. The technology of what we do together is to actually take these names, move them into the purple. So this is cool because by the time we're done, we should look a lot like this, where everyone's in the purple, everyone's in the green, everyone's going into a powerful place in their life. Whereas the beginning, most of these people looked all red, and it was a very severe either challenge or a power that needs alignment. Look at the group we've got here, okay? We have people here who have got mastery, people here who work really hard, and people here who are on an extraordinary path. So there's a large collective of mastery inside of the numbers that I'm seeing, and I'm not going to not pay attention to that. I'm absolutely taking this into account as well. But this is what we can do in a group. This is what we get a chance to do as a group, is to learn from each other and sit around the fire. To sit around this fire, this thing, like before it was an actual campfire. And now it's this antenna that connects us to Vancouver Island. And we get a chance to sit here and, and connect hearts and souls in the most powerful conversation that you'll ever have, next to the one that you do with yourself. Man, that gives me chills. There's a lot of spiritual energy in this, and I felt it because I know that's Price's team. If any of you guys are paying attention, we got to get Tracy in here. Does anyone else notice that she's not in here? What I really want to do is pause back to the story here, guys. there is some serious power inside of what we're about to do. Now, we are recording this, so of course we're going to respect everyone's time. There is obviously some technical difficulties, but I know Tracy's going to be here. She says she's going to be here. She's going to be here. I trust her because I work with that woman. I know what's up. I know what that feeling is. I trust someone. So when we're looking at this, trust me, this will not replace individual look at everything that's happening inside of your life. That story deserves to be told. But while I put this up again, I just want to make sure that I have it. What this will do will show you guys where each other is at. Let's take a look at this life path situation first. The birthdays, if any of this is incorrect, we have to make sure that you let me know. The birthdays are going to show up as a code that I can read. Your guys' birthdays show up day first, then the month. I look at it, the reason why I look at it month, day, year, is because there are 3 stages in your life that are going to be like 3 chapters to the saga of your existence, okay? So think of it as like 3 movies to the Lord of the Rings or 3 Star Wars movies, but this is like a set of movies that come in together that create 3 chapters you grow through. Between 0 to 27 years old, the month that you're born in is a deciding factor on who you grow up into being. So we're going to go through these numbers, but there are the ones, leaders. The 2, when James comes in, there's a power of partnership. Peter comes in with a strong mind of intuition. Then we have 1 again, leadership for Helen. The humanitarian shows up inside of Lisa. Then the Rita shows up with a powerful level of partnership. Tracy shows in with a strong, solid level of discipline, and Marina comes in with a stoic sort of connected. These numbers all appear in the month that they're born in. And then Caroline's showing up, just sweet, ready to be here, absolutely fun. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4. No one's born in May. Okay, how about 6? I'm born in June. What's up, June? What's going on? And then we have 7, August, September. And that's it. There's no October. Do we have October? Yeah, we got October. No November, and then no December. So we've got almost all the numbers inside of our month. What about the day? From 27 to 55, the flat line or the plateau of life where we want to have kids, we want to, build wealth, do something for the world, make our impact, leave our stamp on the planet. This is where we do that in our adulthood. These numbers are the day that you're born in. This is the sunlight. We had the dawn and the rising of you. In your daylight, who are you? Then the third part of your life, the year, 55 and onward, shows up as a value of the wisdom, the value of you coming in and teaching the world what your journey is to leave behind, or what your creation that you made this planet to be in, what you want to leave it. Some people have, they don't know numerology. They have numbers that don't necessarily work. They don't communicate. And the fight goes inward. And we end up just fighting ourselves, whether it be a bad drinking habit, a bad eating habit, a drug addiction, or even to be addicted to sex or energy or money or whatever shows up. That feeling wants to pull us down because all of these numbers say stuff like that. So we want to make sure that the number that you're born with, that represents the value of your soul in mastery. So whether it's balanced or not, you hold power here. That's a powerful feeling. We're all going to get a chance to learn and see, because you may be a life path 5 or a 3 or a 6, but you have a 1 or a 2 or a 4. You see those other numbers are attached to your name somewhere. So when I'm talking about the 1 inside of this life path 5, and then we see someone like, I don't know, let's see if I can pull an example. Like Tracy has no 1s in her life path, but she got a 1 in her name. She's going to absolutely be feeling like, I get it. Absolutely, I get it. This is why couples come together. So if you've got a really powerful love in your life, I guarantee you when we put the charts together, your birthday matches his last name. Her middle name is the same as your. Like, there's a reason why we get each other and that we work together. And then there's also a reason why opposites attract, because there could be the really powerful super social that needs the sense of stability, or the overwhelming feeling of emotion needs the discipline to help contain it. There's a reason why things marry together to create new vibrations. So this is a very powerful technology, guys, and so super awesome. How about, let's see, can we get maybe someone else who's had their session done? Nikki, I'd love it if you wanted to share a little bit about our experience and like, I noticed a change in you, just to share what, post and pre-reading that you activated in a certain way. Do you want to speak on that a little bit for me?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Hi, everybody. So yeah, I had my reading with Bobby just after the Freedom Team event on the Gold Coast. So as Bobby mentioned before, actually, he didn't mention it on this event, on this call. It was just on the call before that I jumped on. Bobby missed his flight, and the universe made him miss his flight so that I could get a reading in person with him. So I was just in Tweed Heads, just around the corner from the airport, and he missed his flight and did a live and said, "I'm here for the day. Let's, who wants a reading?" And I jumped on and went, "I'll be there in 20 minutes. So I jumped in, I jumped in an Uber and scooted down. And after seeing him on the Freedom Team event, I was just like blown away and just had to be there and do a reading with him. And yeah, so I was 4A at the event. And since, going to the event and having that reading, I just, totally changed my name. My name's Nikki Patricia Gallagher, and I'm now Nikki A. Gallagher. And yeah, he gave me a couple of different choices, and I sat with them for a few days as to, which letter, totally aligned with me and which felt better. And I did like the A. And yeah, so A also aligned with me for abundance, because that's what I want to bring into my life. And yeah, I'm almost 6A. I've got like 16 points to go, and I know, I'm so excited. And so January 31st, which is also my birthday, which I'm super excited about, on 31st or before, I will be 6A. So I've had so many changes over the last couple of months, and, I not only, put that towards, changing my name and the numerology. And you probably can't see me at the moment because I can just see Bobby, but I printed out my book, my reading book, and did it. Oh, cool. Thanks, Bobby. So my life path book, I printed that out, printed it out on my own computer, and then just got it bound. And I literally usually every night I read it, just so that I don't forecast, like I don't like reading it during the day. And I've just got all the dates. I just wrote the dates down. So I just usually read it of a night of what happened during the day. And it's usually like 80 to 90% spot on. And so, yeah, it cracks me up. And sometimes I do a sneak peek and read what's coming up for the next couple of days, but I try not to, because I don't want to forecast what's going to happen. So I always just try and read the past dates. And yeah, they're just, it's freaky how aligned it is. So yeah, I'm eternally grateful. So thank you.
Oh, that's so awesome. I can feel it. And I really love that you added into basically what I wanted to tell you guys what's going to happen after this. I'm going to give you guys all reports. You guys, part of the admission is to get the name alignment and to get your instruction manual, to actually get this full-on codex. Like, look how thick that thing is. That's huge. And that feeling is like absolutely like every single detail is in there about you. And it will help you do things like forecasting, to understand your true nature, to really make sense of why you are the way that you are. But it's a reading. It's an algorithm. There is a language there that's built based on what numerology is as a technology. As a person, as a soul, as someone who actually can like put two and two together, we get a chance to have a human experience. So we still get a chance to take a carousel through the numbers. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that that you guys understand that these numbers do show up. So the first thing that we want to take a look at is the actual, let me just put the group chat to this side. The way that I did this, I'm regretting doing it this way. But the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 11. There are numbers that are 22, 33, 44, 55, but you can't really get them when you add things up. Sometimes you can get 22, like if you're born on the 22nd or 1984. So you're going to see that sometimes here, where is it? that 22s may show up. One here, October here shows up for Helen. So there's a powerful feeling inside of here that says that we can go into the mastery of things. But take a look at Rita's numbers, 222. We have some power inside. There we go, Brianna, 55. So I pay attention to this stuff. I can see that there's 777s. So I get a chance to see absolute mastery when I look inside of these charts. And I'm like, there is something bigger going on than just, oh, cool, 1111. It's like, wait a second. This person has a bunch of all these numbers in there that all are speaking of a mastery path. So as we grow through the cycle set of numbers and we recognize ourselves and be like, all right, number ones. So Catherine shows up, Brianna shows up, Helen shows up. So the people that show up, or Caroline shows up with the number one in her name. So we're going to start talking about pieces of you guys. We're going to go through all the numbers and just to take a quick scan, just to see if anybody's actually missing anything. Really doubtful. I mean, there's only 9 numbers, and how many of us? Each of us has 3. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 22. And then I have 33. I don't see 44. I see 55. I don't see double sixes. I see double sevens, triple sevens. Don't see any double eights. I see triple twos. So there's a powerful level of mastery among us, guys, that I'm super excited for this. But the numbers we see in your birthday, they show up as the path. They're like the road that we grow through in life. So when we see them in terms of like, hey, 3 chapters of our lives, we pay attention to think that it's in there. But James hasn't heard his name yet. Where are you? You're life path 4, right in here. So I see that in there, the 26th of February. So what we're looking at, when we take a look at the stages you grow through in life, they give us an opportunity to learn about the speed limits, the rap in the road, what types of experiences are going to be before us. That's one side of the story, the very first side. It's like, where are you? Now the next thing that says is, okay, now who's calling? What is this? Who are you? This is where your soul actually gets an incarnation. So you're looking at our names. These numbers are either they need alignment, they either work really hard, there's an emergency situation or a severe discord with the numbers like these, or it just needs alignment, or it works really good, or it was born with its star in its head. This one here shows up like this. Mine, let's just quickly see if I can, oh man, this looks really big. How about if I do like this, and I go smaller, smaller, but then I'd make this one bigger. There we go. Technology, guys. So if I want to pull this out and I just want to dial in my numbers here. So mine are going to be red. Okay, so I'm not balanced. I have problems with myself. The 5 in my chart chews on me. If there's other people who have a 5 on their chart inside of their name somewhere, self-sabotage is the name of the game. So we'll talk about things like that when we get a chance to see them. And the fact that you guys see you're not going through it alone. Anyone else put in the, what did everybody answer for question 5? I don't feel worthy. I don't feel like people can listen to me. I don't know what I'm doing. I have blocks. I feel like I can't get over my own shadow. I don't know how to do go lives. I feel insecure. We're all saying the same thing. We're all dealing with the same problem, that what you're doing isn't equal to an 8. None of these numbers are showing up to equal to an 8. Marina has got something going on here. Absolutely. Look at this. I gave her the MX. It was on a goal. I was on a go live. Got a chance to actually line up her name. And this is a really powerful feeling. This is a super powerful chart, by the way. But there are people here like Helen Reed. What's up? How's she going to take something? This thing looks really good. So we have got power inside of this. Brianna Watahira, like there's number inside of Carolyn Taylor Smith McLean. There's power inside of these numbers that show up purple. I needed to do that with an aligned name. So now that I show up with something that actually works, guess what my life looks like? I don't work a job anymore. I work from home. I do what I want. I do what I love. I set my own schedule. I get a chance to spend time with my family. I'm a family man. Like this is what my name says now. It says business. It says spiritual. And it says communication that gives a shit. It cares. It actually cares. Like we go from clients to being my family and being the ultimate financiers of my life. You guys paid to be here. There is a sacred love that I have for you guys, that you guys have done something for me and my family. I want to do something for you and yours. I want to make sure that this technology gets a chance to inspire your direction. So what happens when you take a name? So this is what happens when you're born. You didn't choose this. You were gifted this. This was a birthday gift. And, you know, it's an ego battle. No, let's name her after my grandmother. No, she's going to have our grandmother's name. The feeling of wanting to place the karmic debts of our forefathers and our ancestors, no wonder we're stamped with the same problems and the same things that reoccur. I'm no different. Look at my name, Balwant Francisco Perihar. They call me Bobby because I'm Bobby Jr. because my dad's Robert. I named my son Balwant Robert Perihar. Like, I'm no different from you. We all have that. That's mine. I'm going to put my name on that as my son, as my name for him, because it means something to me. I want to honor my father. Luckily, I put the name together. I'm like, that's a badass name. That's a name that works. I know numerology, so I get a chance to set my kid up and make sure he doesn't deal with the number that most of us dealt with. Like, unless we're Marina Mwek, and we're like, wow, this is a queen here. It's a powerful woman. What her problem would be was that the name she's using today may not have been as powerful as the original name she was born. Anyone here get married and take someone else's last name, and suddenly they're like, I hate myself, and they want to get divorced. They don't want to be that person anymore because they went too far into a direction. They lost their value of vibration. Your name is quintessentially important for your success, guys. So what we're learning here is based on each other, and it really helps to I was saying this in the Go Live. I was just sort of like warming up for you guys that the mastermind, the power of learning as a group, it takes the edge and the sting off. And it also lets you know, hey, I'm not the only person who may be a little bit too hard on myself or doesn't show up when I want to or wants to say something but can't or hates the fact that someone, so please, like, Bobby, please don't call my name. Please don't ask me to say anything. I just want to listen. And then the other person's like, shit, I just want to say something. And I can't help but not talk. That feeling of anxiety or nervousness or wanting to please other people or serve people, it's a disconnection from its natural state. When we see numbers that don't match together, it's as good as like pouring milk on a carpet. Like, you don't put the two together. They get stuck and it doesn't make a good fit. You want to put milk in a cup. You don't want to put a cup on the ground. You want to do, there's a certain order and a process the way things contain. So the same thing with numbers. You'd probably want to put numbers that work really good with their neighbors instead of numbers that are not going to communicate. They're going to take your energy inward, downward, upset at itself, angry, a feeling I should do something, I don't know what to do, I never do anything right, someone's watching. Like, come on, this is the human condition. That we're just like a lucky roll of the dice. Come on, don't give me a shitty name. Don't give me something that doesn't work. We're going to make them all work, guys. Absolutely. So a couple of cool little things in here. You guys all paid to be here. So if you guys go and you're like, shit, I need to book a one-on-one now, you're going to get a discounted rate. So I'm not going to charge you my full price. I'm going to discount it for you guys, exclusive price for just you guys, because I know that we do want to work together. I understand that there's going to be planning. You guys are going to want to teach your teams and lead people and help grow them. I don't mind doing the heavy work for you guys. Just send me your teams. Let me work with them one-on-one. If there's any big, huge leaders here like the 6A who wants to drop, like for all of their new people once a month, can you imagine what your business would look like? If you filled in 20 people once a month and say, you guys are getting your first coaching session, this is before you start your business page. Then we're not going to see the people 6 months later banging their heads on their computer, being like, why does it work for people like, or the other guys who just, and how come I can't? And then, okay, fine, let me just try this thing. The powerful leaders are paying for their team sessions, just so you guys know. But back to the reality of what we're doing here, you guys are going to be able to get an exclusive price to work with me if in case you guys want to take this to the next level. This alone should become enough for you to create the success you're supposed to create in your life. This will be enough. I'm not trying to make you buy something else. You're going to get the name that's going to actually have a vibration of wealth. You're going to get the report that does the tell-all. Definitely print that thing out. Absolutely use that thing on a day-to-day basis. And we're going to make sure that it's actually lined up for you. We're just going to throw a letter in your name. Let's take a look at the second part of our session tonight. When we get a chance to actually take a look forward, look at this. Look at these guys. Look at these things. We got some letters to pick from, guys. You guys all have a choice to take the name that doesn't work, that shows up in red, the name that's not working for you in business or working for you here. Actually, this one's pretty impressive. But these names still, like, we can still move them around in case people are like, well, what do you got? Give me an alignment. Let me take something. This is where we get a chance to say, okay, well, if Sandan that uses N or W instead of, what was it you're using right there? Using K. So if you take the letter K and you introduce N or W instead, now the vibration is going to speak of quick starter to business. There's a powerful feeling in there. What about if she takes the letter U? Then she takes the power mode of mastery. These vibrations are in increasing difficulty. The very first beginning ones, the green, they're safe. They're easy. They're no problem. You can quickly build a business with this. The ones in blue, they take a little bit longer. No problem. This is a business. Rome wasn't built in a day. Absolutely, I'm okay to run through pace. I do prefer to take things a little bit more quiet and a bit more like slower. The GAZ Freedom Team vibration is a very solid distinction between, like, this is what Freedom Team looks like, okay? There's spiritual, there's mastery, people want to be in here, and GAZ looks like this with the 3s and the 5s and the quick starter and the rah-rah, let's do stuff. Sure, Freedom, you guys know how to get stuff done, but the reality is that there's a really huge, powerful feel. It looks like, whoa, cool, Nicole is putting up her hand. Do you want to unmute yourself? Let's see if I can unmute you. Or if you can unmute yourself. It's not letting me unmute you. Let's see if you can unmute yourself. I would love to hear what you have to say if you put your hand up for something. Unmute audio. No, it doesn't let me do it. Hold on. Let's see if I can allow them to unmute themselves. Yep. Okay, so if you want, you can type it into the chat, or if you figure out how to unmute yourself, Nicole, you can, or if it was just an accident, you mean to put up your hand. It's all good. So what we're going to take a look at is the fact that you guys have a choice between what direction do you want to grow into. These are single digits. There are other ways, okay? You can add 2 letters. We can, if you're like, well, hey, well, wait a second. How come I only get a choice of this one, right? Like PETA. What if PETA's like, well, I want to be super mastery. I want to, build a giant business as well. Well, then we're just going to be looking at a couple of different letters instead of just G or P, or maybe it'll be PETA Alice. Okay. Instead of just using PETA A or PETA Matskos, we can use a different letter or a different version of your name. There are other options. This is a quick fix. So at the end of our session, we're going to take some time. If you guys have questions that are really specific to your go, then absolutely we're going to take some time to go over that. I want you guys to feel like my business rocks. I feel good. There are things we're going to do with this name. What are we not going to do with this name, okay? We're not going to change your name legally. You are not going to go out there and get a credit card or a bank account or make a legal entity or a business entity. That is a level 4 conversation, okay? My clients who are here may be at that place at some point, whether it be in a year or 2 years, 18 months. There may come a time when you're getting married. Guys, there is a reason why you would want to change your name legally. Do not do that on this advice at this call. There are times to do it. There are dates where you can do things that are important for certain major events, like conceiving, having a baby, getting married, purchase of a house, purchase of a car, signatures, ANAGIC documents, putting in for ranking. Think about the day you propose. Think about the most powerful things that you want to get done the day you file your taxes that are particular. Some people are like, whatever, I don't care about that stuff. If you don't, then that's fine. But if you do and you're like, I want to make sure everything is in alignment, I'm not like that. You know who is like that? Balaj is like that. He's like, dude, what do I, like, he wants to ask everything. And I'm just like, man, you're so aligned. The higher guys like Matt Jang, Aaron Fraser, Tammy Hume, Sarah Price, Charlene Sutkovsky, These guys see me often. They want to talk to me, okay? Like Katie Henry, Allie Mae, Maria. They want to talk to me over and over again. They want to know, so what now? What next? What? Because they understand the rhythm now, and we want to teach people how to do this. So just so you guys know, there is a private course. It's a 4-day, all-intensive, 2 to 3 hours a day. It's $2,200, $2,222. It's a pretty penny. I do payment plans, but it would be not a bad idea if I teach you how to monetize this. If you're feeling like, why is Bobby all know all this? How come he ain't teaching nobody? Of course I'll teach you. You could Google the shit out of it yourself if you really wanted it to. But if you want my mentorship to be a part of my course and my training, it would be an absolute asset to yourself, whether you want to be a numerologist or you just want to learn what they didn't teach you in school, which was the tie between spiritual and science. And this is it, where we get a chance to see this. So it's with a supreme sacred honor and blessing that I share this information with you guys. Any questions, you let me know. You guys absolutely just drop it into the chat or unmute yourselves. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to talk about the numbers as they start showing up. So we don't have any life path 1s. You guys notice that? They're all life path 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 11. So I think we've got more life path 11s here than we have any other numbers. So I'm just going to color myself in that case, because if that's the case, got to represent. What's up? Okay, cool. So, but I get a chance to show up in white because I'm the teacher. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to see here that we've got people showing up in different life paths, but there are 1s in here. I have a 1, okay? Helen's got a 1. Brianna's got a 1. These guys are born in January, born in October, or were born in 1954. And on the name side, Catherine has a 1 as well. Tracy has a 1 as well. And Caroline has a 1 as well. And so we have numbers that show up inside of here. Inside of the names you guys are using in life, like your Facebook, your first and last name. I meant to get your Facebook name, not your first and last name. When I recognize that now. But Lisa Marie has a 1 in there. So when we show up with 1s, there is a strong sense of direction and a strong sense of clarity of vision of wants to be a leader. When they show up imbalanced, we don't recognize ourselves. We don't take ourselves seriously as we should, and we're unable to capitalize on the power that we have because we end up being too humble or too disconnected from the self or too hard on ourselves to acknowledge how powerful we are. Whereas in negative, really powerful sides, they can be people who are full of themselves. So not to say that this looks like anybody here, but then again, I haven't looked too far into your guys' charts. So I don't know if that ego complex is going to show up for you. But inside of these numbers, Lisa Marie is probably the only one who's got it on lock. Everyone else is going to be dealing with a problem with themselves at least some points, myself included. Bobby, that's a -1. So people are like, oh my God, you're a legend, this and that. I'm like, really? I feel so weird. Everyone was running up to me trying to take pictures with me. I'm like, just relax, guys. I'm just a regular old kind of guy. Like, no big deal. Everyone's like, oh my God, no, you changed my life. I got pregnant because of you. And I'm like, just quiet, right? Like, I want to be a little bit more calm to myself. Whereas if I had a powerful one, I'd be like, absolutely. Or I would say over powerful. That would probably be too much. But these are the ones. Independent. If you're born in January, born in October, you probably don't really care too much about what other people think at a certain level. It's like, I'm going to do what I want to do. Not really too likely to get into relationships during this first 27 years of your life. It's a self-discovery, a finding out of who I am, okay? When we get a chance to look further now, we're going to look at the number 2. The number 2 at Life Path 11. Someone's
He will just turn his camera around, and he's got deer in his bloody front yard. It's amazing.
Nicole doesn't know she's being unmuted, so we'll just gonna unmute her nicely. Okay, cool. So number 2, if you guys do want to unmute, by all means, I'd love your input on this. Number 2s, 11s, you also show up this way. 2 is going to show up now with the value of partnership. So when we see 2s inside of names like Rita's or names like who else has it? No one else. Helen, there's a sense of I want to work together. I want to do something with another. born in February here, born on the 2nd for PETA. How about Rita here for a second? She's got 2, 2, 2, and this 9, 9, 9. Okay, this is like what Nikki was dealing with a second ago, back in 6 months ago. But there's some powerful numbers. Where is Rita? I want to see. There's a powerful feeling in there. She's not even her camera on. But the wondrous feeling of being extraordinarily spiritual will be a very, very pure, big feeling. How about James here? Feb. Me, I'm Feb. Myself, I'm Life Path 11, which shows up as a 2. Okay? So I know what it's like to have my sense of self dependent on what someone else thinks, their level of approval, how I can help them, how I work with other people. That's why I love what I do, because I'm like, sweet, I'm important. People they think of me well. They think good of me. They want me to help them. They want me to be there. I'm liked. I'm accepted. It was a really big fall from climb from me in high school, getting beat up, and nobody wants to hang out with me. And I hated myself, and I was always getting into fights. And like, there was no like, always so awesome. I was like the biggest nerd ever. And it was just like really interesting now for me to be like, I have friends, see? And they want me to do business with them. That's even better. So there's a feeling there for me that shows up in that 2. That's going to be dependent on what other people think. So it would really do my ego a super solid if after our time together or during it sometime you took a screenshot and you wrote a post about this and you shared our experience with others if you wanted to throw me a bone. Because this is how I create my wealth. This is how I help the world, is by being of service and of value to it. So if you found that this was like super informative and an ability to align yourself, then I would be so grateful to share that with your teams one day and people inside of your family. I work with people outside of GAZ all the time. But the reality is that if you guys share it with others, think of the help that we can actually give to people. So when we look at the 2, that's what I want. I want to take something and make it better. I want to work in a pair. I want to be a partner. I want to team up. I want to have that coach, that mentor, and to be that for someone is my whole life's purpose. So there are people in here that can be a little bit too pleasable. They like Rita Annabelle Guchin. We're just going to put this one on the spot. That 2, the 7, as we'll find, may not say very much. So this one would be very serving and pleasing of others, while it can be a little frustrated on the inside, thinking the 4 is like, I should have my rules in order. I got to take what's right for myself. The 2's like, stop it. We're going to sacrifice for the other. And the 7's like, I'm not going to say anything. So that feeling shows up there where this people can be very service related to others. How about her birthday? 2, 2, 2. No matter where this woman goes, the value of wanting to connect and be a partner is never far behind. We see it showing up in the middle for PETA, for the beginning inside of James, when James was a kid. We see a value there where partnership is going to be very strong. This is a friend we keep for life. That 2 wants to be a good, solid friend. That 2 wants to be someone who's going to be loyal with someone else. So we see it mostly in people's charts. I think that's a solid number that I keep seeing over in everyone's chart. Would be a really powerful thing to think. No wonder we're in a business like this. We share our story, and we want to help inspire people to share theirs. There is a mountain of resources, books to read, audios to go through, like things to learn, modules, videos, events, online webinars. It's overwhelming, guys. And the reality is that when we're doing it together, it feels a lot easier when you're in the gym and someone's spotting you, when you're going for a walk and you got your running buddy with you, or you're going to play chess and you're not sitting there crying playing chess by yourself. You got to do things together. That's why for me, I'm preaching to the choir here. This is like who I am, the number 2. So absolutely, I think there's a reason why we have it. There's a reason why this is the type of business we're here. But that's my 2 cents on the number 2, okay? And if people are seeing this and they're like, you have a revelation or an understanding of how it shows up in your chart, feel free to unmute yourself and comment, or feel free to write it in the group chat and write about it and actually express to say, shit, you know what? I do keep on giving up what's important to me to satisfy someone else. Because if I don't get their approval, my life is over. Talk about Bobby when I'm arguing with my wife. Like, holy crap. If she's mad at me, I'm like, my world is over. Like, that's how much, this can really take a hold in our lives, because I want to make everything good and I want to do good in the world. So when I mess up, it's like the worst thing ever. I'm like, oh. So that's what the 2s are going to go through, okay? Let's take a lighter stride here to the 3s. So Helen Louise Greenhalgh is going to be a 3 she's born as. Carolyn also has a 3 in her name. That's it for names. What about for James? James Matisek has it. Lisa Marie Mills also has it as well. And when we look at life paths, we see this on the 3rd or the 21st. We also see this in 1965, 74. On the 12th, we see this in March. We see this on the 21st. These numbers, the 3s here, Brooke says, I don't have any 2s, but I always have wanted to do big things with someone. The process of growing your ego happens from the self to the selfless. So at the very fundamental numbers, 1, 2, and 3, we're looking at concepts that are going to be junior. So they're just the bare 3 basic colors. When we get to 4, 5, and 6, we're going to see the same thing, but we're going to see them with a bit more purpose. They're a bit more intermediate. They work a little bit. There's something more going on. These numbers are going to share a value of communication, work with others, a larger level, a 1-2 punch. The next 3 numbers, 7, 8, and 9, show up as mastery numbers. These numbers are going to have long-term, generation wealth, intangible, cosmic feeling. So if you're feeling like, hey, I do feel partnership, I don't have any 2s, but I want to do big things. It could be a 4, it could be a 6, or it could be an 8 that you're looking at, what we're going to talk about. Also, we're not looking at your names individually. If we take a look at your names individually, there is also more to look at this chart than what meets the eye. We get a chance to see all of the finer teeth that create the value of it, that show up to actually make the full object that is you, okay? So absolutely, you're going to see yourself in numbers. You're going to see, hey, I don't have any of these numbers. How come I feel that? They're concepts built on each other. If you're dealing with that concept and it didn't show up as a number, it's because you want it to be there because of a number that should show up that isn't there. Or maybe the number that is there is an overload in it. Like for people who have an overload of 4s in their chart, like PETA, poor PETA, okay? This is a tough one. This August baby has the value of entrepreneur. The name PETA Mascos also develops to business and CEO mindset. But the 4s that circulate around the rest of the chart are going to make this person super practical, very to the ground, very low-lying, and absolutely not taking the big shots in life. The really, really big things that we want to do, that entrepreneur mindset gets trumped at the lower level of wealth, where it's just chained to the job, or I work too hard. I'm the hardest working person in the room. The feeling of wanting to take every single detail apart, the 4 can do things very mechanically, whereas the 8 in her chart says, I want to do the business. I want to create wealth. I want to be large and in charge. I want to actually do something with my life as opposed to just working a job, wasting the rest of it, being super loyal. That's great. It's practical, but it's sucking the soul out of me. The overload of 4s are going to show up like that. So we're going to absolutely pay respect to the way that numbers do show up and build on them. But the number 3, back to the reality of what I'm saying, PETA also was going to love this, because this happens at the end of your life, at the 3rd part of it, is going to show up a value that says fun. This is a bonus little side training here for you guys. 2019 is a 3-year, okay? 2019 is a 3-year. That means that if you're seriously seeing 3s in your name, or you're seriously seeing 3s in your chart, there is a leverage point for you to be like, party's on, 2019. Let's set up. I promise you, if you have a regret by the end of the year, it's going to be that you didn't have as much fun as you should have had. The world is going to continuously move at light speed. But while we're existing day in and day out, 2020 speaks of foundation, hard work, discipline. Okay, Pia's going to get her coming up. It's right here. This is where she's going to find the power and be like, that's it. I'm ready to have some structure and do this and create a discipline in your chart, in your life. That 2020 is going to be a powerful year for you too, James. Okay, these are our life path 4s. Catherine, Brianna, James again shows up with that number. The numbers with 4 in them, next year will be powerful for you too. But it means get to work. 2019 is a year of let's have fun, let's be social, let's enjoy ourselves, let's just not worry about the big picture right now. Right now we're out there dancing on the fields, seeding our gardens. We're planting our seeds. And the 3 is the final year for planting. The very first year, 2016 was a 1 year. No, 2017 was a 1 year. Brand new beginnings. A lot of people passed away in 2016. 2017 was a lot of brand new beginnings. Are we unmuted? Nicole, what's up? How you doing? What's going on? Okay, bye. Okay, so if you do want to say something, just absolutely let us know. But the year for 1 was about clearing the land. We're clearing the land. We're going to build a business here. We're going to do something with this. Brand new beginnings for us all. This is the vibration that goes for the earth. Then 2018 was a powerful year for partnership and connection, and a strong angel year where 2 + 0 + 1 + 8 = 11. So there was a large spiritual level of healing and connecting and working with people and doing a lot of powerful things inside of connection and partnership, okay? That shows up inside of this last year. So we set the partnerships. Now that hands are held and we found our mentors, we found our coaches, I found my team, you found your business, you found your leads, the twin flames Brooke is saying, now it's dance. All right, let's dance. We got the hands held. Let's be merry. Let's drink. Let's grow the story. Let's grow our brand. Let's show up. We're building a social media business, guys. So you better get used to. If you hate the go live, great. Write a story. If you can't write for your life depending on it, great, go live. If you don't have nothing to talk about, post other people's stuff with their permission. Be like, I'm stealing this. There's groups that you can go into, steal stuff that you can go into and be like, everybody here, juice me up. And if you need a group like that, let me know. I'll put you inside of mine, where you can like other people's posts and take their content and be inspired by them. And it's having your own little, but you got to like, you got to post, you got to comment, you got to share, you got to juice them. Give them juice to their posts. But if you're looking to get your social media game on, you couldn't have hoped for a better year. 2019 is the year for that. So back to the matter of the fact is, okay, so what does 3 mean anyway? It means love. It's the entry point into heart. It's the entry point into sweetheart, social, charm. These people are going to have a good sense of humor. They're going to be witty. James is a great guy to be around. Sure, the 7 may be a little quiet, but he's a fun guy. And he's absolutely someone you want to keep around. To his friends, he's a great time. But to the vibration of the name, it may be like, I want to dance, I want to sing, but I'm too shy. Or I don't know what to say. Because the 7 takes that social number and squeezes it off into a non-communication number. So this is where we get numbers that aren't actually working for us. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're balancing this thing out. 3 at the beginning of a name, sure, it works. Lisa Marie's got a 3 that works at the beginning. Who else has one? No one. So Lisa, you got a powerful 3, a powerful 1, and a powerful 4 in your chart. Nikki's a 3, absolutely. So we have you want to run up to her, give her a hug. You actually want to be loved by this woman because she shows up with that. My Sally has a 3 in her chart. She's born on the 3rd. We have people inside of the 3 that they're big kids. They're just children running around being like, I'm not getting older. They're like whipping around the sun. I'm not getting older. Whip around the sun again. I'm really not getting older. I still want to do fun kid stuff. I still believe in magic. I believe in people. That feeling shows up inside of the 3 where it can be super optimistic. But the problem is that can bring in a false sense of optimism that could lead into being too naive. feeling of like I know I'm. Oh, please don't rip me off this time. Like, maybe this time will be the time that they pay me back, you know? And the 3 can do that, where they're just like, you know, want to see I just want to believe in the best in someone, even if they repeatedly show up not that way. Okay, so that's something to pay attention to if you got a 3 in your chart and it doesn't look good, like James right now, or Caroline, or Helen. Actually, your names, guys, I'm not sure if that's the way that it is. This full name should be your name at birth. So you got like a few minutes if you want to really make sure that this is what your first, middle, and last name was the day they stamped you. Not the day you got adopted or the day your parents got married or like the day you got married. But like, what was it the day you were born? That's the vibe that it's for, and it can get pretty cool sometimes. Because it could be like baby girl Rosen. So like my son was baby boy Tadina. I'm like, no, his original name is supposed to be Balawan Robert Perihar. But me and my fiance are not quite married yet. So they immediately anyway, I kind of was like, shit. So I have yet to really unfold the repercussions of that because I meant to hold everything in super tight alignment. I wanted to predict the day he was going to be born. But my son is a Life Path 3, okay? So I'm like, sweet, we're going to give him a guitar. We're going to make him draw. He's going to be an artist. He's going to be super fun on social media. So I'm like already living my son's life for him. But the nice thing about the 3 is that they don't get older. So like Helen and Tracy, these are Life Path 3s. They're a blast. Nikki, you're a blast. Like there's a feeling of just wanting to be fun and joyful. On the negative side of these numbers, they're not taking themselves as seriously as they want to, and they may not be taken as seriously as that could be a good thing though. You may want to just be like, I'm just having fun. Don't worry about me. And then but lo and behold, you've got this underground strategy of like really big business. That's like what Nikki is. Okay, so she got some power in her chart, but she doesn't let up. Okay, like the feeling of just everything's cool, it's all good, and yet she's got a big level like term plan on the inside. That's the feeling that shows up underneath the 3. So like Helen ain't fooling anyone. Okay, not me anyway. But because of the feeling of this, she may look very sweet, very very pretty, and be a very lovely sensation. But the life path speaks of leadership. It speaks of intuition, and it also speaks of I want to do something big in my world. But the 3 is just going to be like, how can I help you? How can I serve you? How can I look good right now? Where the major components that are happening on the inside are speaking of some sincere power. Probably a bad example. I think she may not even be here right now because of the fact that she had to go. So maybe another example, Tracy. So Tracy's showing up, and I recognize here, Tracy, you were actually paid to be here. I'm sorry. I thought you were one of my already clients. My apologies. But the value behind the 3 is that this shows up with the sweetheart vibe, but the 4 wants to work hard. The 11 wants to coach and train and help and be there with people and be a mentor to those. And the 6 wants to grow a long-term business and wants to grow a powerful feeling of family. So these numbers are more serious than the number that shows up top. This is the bane of the 3, that not just a pretty face. I want to do something powerful as well. So we take a look next to the number 4, okay? Rita says, my middle name has 2 N's. So can we make sure that I didn't mess this up? Because this would change things. Let me just double check, okay? Guys, can you please make sure that your names are showing up properly spelled? I'm just going to quickly, before because I haven't said it, I'm pretty sure I spelled it with just 1 N. So we're going to do Annabelle with 2 N's and then Guchin, okay? So this is how it's supposed to look. And unfortunately, it wasn't any better. Actually, wait, hold on. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's actually, it was, you may have wanted to have just not said that, because now we're looking at a name that does this, and this is a really, really powerful feeling that we see. This is a very magical person, by the way. Rita, I definitely want to connect with you more personally for sure, and absolutely would love to even this out for you. But this is a very mystical number. Okay, there's a spiritual number to this. But thank you for correcting my spelling. And so we've got these numbers are showing up for 4 now. Okay, so 1, leader; 2, partner; 3, artist, dancer, creator. The feeling of being jovial and fun. The 4, let me roll up my sleeves. Let's get to business. The 4s, they're my healthy skeptics. Okay, they're the people who are kind of like, how did you do that? Where did that come from? Show me your work. I want to know the details now. When we see 4s in there, they're detail oriented. Okay, they absolutely want to make sure they pay attention to stuff. They can get super meticulous and very anal about details. You want to make sure you do the right thing, and that means that it can take us longer to get stuff. I have a 4 in my chart, in my 1984. April shows up with there. October inside of Helen's chart, she's on 1984 as well. Peta and James are life path 4s. There's 4s inside of the names. So 4 shows up in the names as well. There's also 4s inside of your business names. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger so we can take a look and start introducing the fact that your businesses are showing up too, guys. I think that was just me. Hold on. Yeah, that was. I had stuff in the way. So we'll put it back. So we've got names that show up here for business too. My stuff was closing it off. But this is secondary. I have a conversation for you guys about this when we get there, but let's leave it to the side for a second. We're still introducing you guys to numbers. But let's put it this way. Who you are online says something about you. Who you show up for as business says something about your business. So it would be very, very powerful to make sure you've lined this thing up. If you're really wanting to do, like Sandan says, set yourself free, or Carolyn says leadership something. It said something about that. I'm not sure what it says now. Leadership, dream big, grow wealthy. You're putting extra things for people to digest, okay? I don't suggest it. But if the numerology works, I'm going to give you my stamp of approval in case you're like, well, too bad. I do want to see this. I do actually want to, like put something else in there. My personal opinion, you want to put your name. You want to put a name. You want to make sure there's a name in there. That's how you want to show up on Facebook. People are more likely to unlike, unfollow. Why am I seeing ads like this? Block these ads. If you put things like my freedom team or my journey to this or set yourself free or any one of these can mug up the purpose of showing up as a public figure. So you want to be the brand. Underneath your chart, Sandan. So you can definitely say, set yourself free. That could be the name of your team, SYF. Or you can create something around that absolutely shows up as a brand. But is it appropriate in the string of characters that the first thing they see is they see that? No, that's the name, okay? So we're going to talk about lining those up as well. But I would imagine lining up your name would be enough. If some of you are like, no, I need to use something different, this is why I asked you for your business name, okay? And we will be able to go really detail-oriented. You'll just have to move your energy or move your questions to the chat by the end of it when I ask for it, and we'll create a queue. So we're looking through numbers. 4s are practical people. They're not the spiritual side of you. They are the mechanical, let's work hard and make sure you came ready and keen and good to go. Don't be late. That 4 is a discipline. When it shows up in red, it's a lack of discipline. It's a lack of keeping your rules in order. It's a frustration and a depression when things don't happen on time. It's a feeling of being hard on yourself, thinking I should do better. I got to do better. If the number shows up in red, like it does in Bobby, then the feeling of 4 is to think we don't give the best of ourselves to ourselves. We give the best of ourselves to others. We save the hardest part for ourselves, that we're not good enough. We can't do this. This isn't for us. The feeling of, I've never done it before, so how am I supposed to know like what this thing is supposed to look like? You guys got to go to the Gaz events. They give you cool cups. But the feeling of the 4 shows up as a powerful feeling for you to get your shit together, to absolutely make sure you follow the rules and follow the order. This can get trapped in a job. This will be the tough numbers to quit and fire my boss. Oh, shit. I can't post that on social media. My boss watches my social media. It's like the 4 wants to stay so loyal, even if it's not loyal to yourself, it's loyal to the other dream or the big group or the group mentality. In times of leadership, these are leaders that are going to be not afraid to tell you what you need to hear. They're not afraid to tell you what you need to hear. So if, let's say, Sanan's business, okay, because I'm going to pick on Sanan's name. If you want your business to show up super strict and very disciplined and no fun, get to work, this page is perfect. But if it's like, whoa, no, I want freedom. Look at her light. Look at these numbers. 5, I'll introduce you guys right now. 5 stands for freedom, okay? 5 stands for I want to travel, I want to do stuff, I want to change. Look at the person that she was born as, and look at the name she has now. She went through a magnetic change. I would say that the names, they both equal 5. They both have a 5 in them. Her life path is 5. So to say set yourself free is a very big motive to create freedom inside of your business. You want a freedom business. But when we see 4, it says, free from what? Get to work. You're here on the farm. You stay here and you work. Oh, there's no chain here. You're chained to the results. Like, you get to work right now. That feeling of being disciplined is going to be very powerful in that business. It does have an 8. It will work. But is it the way that you want to show up for business? Probably not. Probably not the way you wanted to show up. When we see 5s, sure, they're very passionate. Absolutely, they care about others. Absolutely, it's the safest place to stand behind is a 5. It's the worst person to stand up against. 5s will tell you, like, yup, someone should have told her, don't mess with me. The 5 shows up as absolutely lethal. These people are very strong warriors, okay? They are not afraid to tell you where to put it, where to keep it, where to stick it, and what to do with it. Okay, like that feeling inside of the 5, it wants to stand up for others. They're ambitious. They want to run. They're give me a challenge. Why not? Who cares? Go live challenge. I go live every day. I'm going to do it. That feeling of let's just run. The 5, if you're feeling distracted and you feel, don't worry. It's because you're a 5. That 5 will have ADD, attention deficit disorder. It wants to always click things, keep moving. Okay, what's next? Okay, Bobby, talk about the same thing over and over. What are you going to say next? The feeling of the 5 wants to keep movement. Stagnation and staying solid is like a kiss of death. So if you got 5s in your chart, Lisa, Sandan, Carolyn, or if you got in your name, go for a run. Go for a run. If you have it in your name, go for a run. If you're ever not feeling good, go for a walk. Just get up and move. Even if it means you just got to like wiggle around a little bit, you can move around and that would help you circulate the energy and the blood flow. A very powerful move inside of that. Whoa, my watch thinks I'm talking to it. So the feeling in there is to think that the 5 will be the gas and the passion to get things done. On the negative side, argumentative, bad with money, could be really strong with addictions. Just quickly taking a quick scan or a peek in here. We got some people. We got some drinkers. Okay, we got some smokers. Okay, let's be real. These numbers can pull on things like that. Okay, 5s for me, lethal addiction of self-attack and drugs. Okay, it wasn't so much alcohol, but it was just, I don't want to get into this. But the reality is that a negative 5 can do damage to the self and it can feel like mean to the self, like you're bullying yourself. So if you see a 5 somewhere in this, or you feel like, shit, I'm not that nice to myself, or I'm fighting with my clients, if it shows up in a business page, that's like run. That's the opposite of business, okay? It's the failing into debts and the feeling of people like, oh yeah, sure, I'll join your business, and then they run away and you never see them again. So the feeling shows up there that this is great if it's contained. If not, you're not getting a chance at you. And the fives may be like, I don't want kids. I don't want to get married. Okay. I want to travel, and a rolling stone gathers no moss. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a cowboy. I got one horse, and that's it. And I'm not even married to the horse. I steal people's horses. So the feeling wants to stay social, doesn't want to solidify. Doesn't mean that fives can't grow off to become very powerful family or leaders. Just travel often, guys. That's the moral of having a 5 in your chart. Let's move over to the 6. There's 1, 6, the balancer. This is Rita. Okay, so Rita's number. I show up born in June. April, Tracy is born in 1968. Are there any other 6s in the chart? How about in names? We have Marina showing up with Master 6. Okay. Tracy again with a balanced 6. This is our good names. Good names. Okay. Or good things that come in there. How about negative 6? Bobby's a negative 6. I would imagine some of your guys' names are going to be negative 6 as well. But look at call name. Positive 6, Brianna. That's a power. Helen Reed. Love these. Marina, Caroline Taylor Smith McLean. Like those are good vibes. Okay, you guys are loving, caring people. The 6 shows up as family, parents, partners, loyal, leaders. The 6 is the best number you can have. Okay? If the word shows up in red or black or yellow, they are negative. If it shows up in green, blue, or purple, then they're good. Then they're balanced. But think of it this way. These 2 numbers, the way that I open up a chart, this is what this looks like. Vowels, consonants, and the total. This is the equation. Okay? So this I teach inside of my private sessions when I train people about what this looks like. 4 plus 1 equals 5. 4 plus 7 equals 11. 22 plus 4 is 26. 2 plus 6 is 8. PETA is an interesting. 9 plus 11 equals, it's a little hard to calculate this number. I'll get into that in a second. But the vowels stand up for 11. The consonants stand up for 9. So it could be read this way, where it says 9 plus 11 is 20. And 2 plus 0 is 2. But because there's more letters than just this, it actually shows up like this, like 110 or something like that. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. These 2 numbers at the beginning combine to make the third number. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 plus 9 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. So this is what's happening inside of a chart. So if this shows up like an uneven number and it's not 6, it's not 8, it's not 4, chances are it's imbalanced. I do not balance a negative number. You can't balance on a negative number. It doesn't work. You balance on an equal number, a positive number, something that works like 4 or 6 or 8. Those are dynamic or universal divine shapes of balance. Try to balance something on a point or on an odd shape. You can't have 5 legs to a table or 3 legs to a table. It's off. So the same thing with our numbers. There's nothing wrong with being off. Dr. Seuss says you have to be odd to be number 1. I love having a 1 in my chart. I feel there's a power in showing up with the spiritual and the energetic as opposed to just the intellectual and the logical. That's the difference. So we have a really powerful match of numbers that are cooperative and numbers that are chaotic. Just because you got some chaos in your life doesn't mean that I don't love you, doesn't mean that you're not awesome, doesn't mean that you're not powerful. It just means that you probably want to know, okay? So just because someone's got power in their life doesn't mean everything's hunky-dory either. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the most powerful number of them all, which is the number 6. If this thing shows up negative, we got some issue, and it doesn't. You guys are super freaking lucky. I know it shows up for some of you inside of your names. But the problem is a negative 6 doesn't love itself the way that it should. They give all of their love away to others when they're the ones suffocating, wanting to have self-love or wanting to have love from others but doesn't think of the self to go for it. Look at my chart. I was born in June, and I was born to give my love to other people and get a sense of identity based on someone else. So as the 6, it was like, oh, I'm going to get married one day. I want to be in love and be a dad. But the feeling is that it didn't turn out because all I cared about was other people. I didn't care about myself. But look what happens when I turn 27. Who else does this? Me. I'm the only one who gains a good sense of identity when I turn 27. When I turn 27, my 1 hits, and I'm like, that's it. It's time for Bobby. It's time for what I got to do. I'm not going to go out there and try to lead it, try to be everybody else's thing. I'm going to be my own thing. Brooke's saying that's me. Let's take a look at Brooke's numbers. Where are you? We've got, am I missing your chart? Brooke and I have already had our session. So I'm not looking at your chart right now. Okay, thank you. Oh my God, you scared me for a second. I'm like, wait, oh my God, no. So absolutely. Okay, so we did do your session and you do have 6s in them. Let's quickly pull it up just so to make sure I have it. We're going to use Brooke as an example and let's talk about this. Okay, just to make sure I've got it. And what do we got here? So we're going to find it and we're going to do, let's search it right here. I think I have a few more O's. So Brooke, okay. So where did we show up with 6s in your chart? She's a life path 6. Hello. And so we've got a valuable feeling inside of here that says there's a woman of love in here, wants to be a family. And again, Brooke Morrow shows a balanced 6. 2, 4, 6. Come on. It looks even. We see a Rosemary, like inside of her, shows up with a 6. There's so much love in here. But this can turn into wanting to help other people, take care of other people first, serve other people first, serve other people first, serve other people first. The 3 wants to make everyone else happy. The 6 wants to do the right thing that a mother should do and sacrifice the self for her family. So of course this number is going to show up giving and giving and giving to others. But look at that, 6 and 1. I have that same thing. When I look at my chart, I have the 6 and the 1 too. So I related a lot to what was happening inside of her chart because I saw those numbers relevant in mine. So we're going to move across. Just so you guys know, 6, everybody wants it because it's equal love, equal money. This is it. This is the number. This is why people are like, oh my God, give it to me. Because it means that I don't have to let go of my kids. I also create a business. I'm able to actually do something powerful. Like I want to have love in my family. I want to have love in my business. I want family to come because of this. That's the power of what a 6 can do. There's communication in here. So you guys may, when we get to this part of this, be looking at numbers that either include a 6 or are inside of this where I think 6 is in each one of these. Yeah, there's a reason why most of these work with a 6 is because there's a value of balance that the 6 works with so many things. There are a few of you who go a chance and talk about mastery if we want to have that conversation. But let's go into 7, okay? Who? Do we have a life path 7? Marina. Marina's our soul 7. Then Rita shows up with a master 7 name, Lisa Marie Clark as well. 7s are labored to find the right thing to say. Marina knows a lot, but is she saying what she needs to say? No, she's not. She just took a vibration change. So you got a mastery vibe now, which I hope kicks in really. Look at this. You're the name you're born with 696. Marina MX Noir is showing up 966. You'll be fine. You're going to remember who you are. That's a value of that, okay? But you're here. I want to give you some options. We can definitely dive in a little deeper if we want to. But you're finding a place that you were born under. There's going to be a sincere power for you there. That's a long time coming. But when we look at the 7s, we're labored to find the right words. We know what's going on. We can see it. But when we try to talk, something happens. And this is what gets me into trouble, okay, with the misses. This is what makes me unable to say what I truly feel is inside my head. This is what gives me that spiritual experience, that divine sense of awareness with the disconnection from wanting to communicate it. I just want to sit in it. This is yogic. This is intuitive. This is mind reading. Marina knows what's going on, and this is like borderline Santa Claus. She knows if you've been naughty. She knows if you've been nice. that 7 will be a very powerful move towards reading people and getting a chance to see where they're at almost by x-ray vision, okay? This is the gift that you get, Marina, for having to deal with a number that doesn't communicate very well. Same thing with Rita, same thing with Lisa. These things can be stuck trying to find something to say. The powerful part of it shows up inside of the purple numbers. Carolyn Taylor Smith-McLean, Brianna Wittahara. Those, and Bobby Perhard, no big deal. There's a power inside of intuition that shows up now that says, I'm connected to God, I'm connected to source, and I'm connected to the deeper, finer intuition of things. So being born on the 7th or born in July, those are the only places where it shows up, 1960. So 7 isn't very present inside of this chart. This is a lively bunch. The 7s are going to be the quieter ones who want to sit quietly under a tree somewhere and meditate. We'll find them in nature. So if you want to, if you're trying to figure out what to do and you can't, drop what you're doing and give me 20 minutes of silence, okay? When you're the 7, this is unfair. 5's got advice, 7's got advice. What about the 1s? If you're ever in a place where you don't want to be, or you're ever in a rut or in a stuck, do something brand new, okay? If you have lots of 2s in your chart and you're in a place where you don't want to be in, if ever you're in trouble, call a friend. Go pet your dog. Go give someone a hug. Go and hug someone. If you're in a 3, just turn on some music. And if you've got 3s in your chart and you're having a shitty day, go dress up and go and have a bath or go have a shower and go and do something fun, okay? And just pause on the business for a second. If you're a 4 and you really want to get out of a slump, okay, go back to the basics. Go back to the basic level of routine. What do you know works? Your breath work, affirmations, mantras, reviewing the details, okay? And then if you're a 5, go for a run, go for a walk, go change the scenery. If you're a 6, you can do any one of these. If you're a 6, write someone a letter. I don't know. Go live. I don't know. Go make food for your family. Go make a snack for the kids, okay? Go hug your spouse and pinch their butt and just be like, I love you. Do something loving for someone else, okay? If you're a 7, go and hide and go and read a book or go and meditate or go and turn on some binaural beats. If you don't know what binaural beats are, you haven't lived, okay? I think that's how you spell it. Binaural beats. You have to use headphones. Meditate to that shit. It's powerful, okay? We're talking about frequencies here. So getting a sound wave going through your head is a very powerful feeling for a 7. Go to God. Go to church. Go inside yourself to your own temple and feel inside of you the source power of intuition that everything is going to be okay. The 7s are not worried about stuff. They know that things happen. It's all good. They're not too seeking of wealth. They can show up lazy when the numbers are imbalanced, like in the case of Brianna. Not in the case of Tracy, that's for sure. That's keeping his rules in order. But Lisa, Rita, Bobby, Brianna, Caroline, we may suffer from a little bit of procrastinitis. Procrastinability, where we can put off tomorrow what should be done yesterday. It's all good. The sink's not that full. I'll fill it when I'll change it when the garbage is overflowing and it's embarrassing and I'm angry and I need to do something to clean up. That's when the 7 wants to activate, when it's had enough, okay? But in terms of business, guys, they are excellent leaders. They're excellent listeners. Sorry, probably not the best leaders, but they're soundboards. They're going to receive a lot of information. So if you're dealing with shit, I don't know what to say, I don't know how to get on a go live, you may be more powerful one-on-one in a convo as opposed to getting out there and doing a go live. So I'm not going to send you on a challenge to do that. But if you do feel like that's important for you, I'd say you're probably going up the right alley to think getting powerful with your level of communication is a strong asset. If you're a 7 and you're like, just wait, what about the power of questions? Yes, that's even more powerful. If you get a chance to, and this is a lesson for all of us that should really take from the 7s, if you guys can get a good handle, I want you to really learn this saying. The quality of your life is dependent on the quality of questions that you ask yourself and others on a daily basis, okay? Get real with that. That's something you absolutely want to roll off the tongue. You're like, the quality of who and the what now, where the hell? I get it. It's tough to figure that thing out. The quality of your life is dependent. Got some lefties in the room. The quality of your life is dependent on the quality of questions that you ask yourself and others on a daily basis. If you got a 7 in your chart, Rita, then you absolutely want to know this. Lisa, people like with business names and Brianna and Caroline, there's a James is going to balance this out. I'm speaking more to Lisa, Rita, Caroline, Balwan, Francisco Perihar. That's my name. July 1960. These are numbers of the 7th of October, Helen. These are numbers that you can't really, you can't change that. That's like you were born with it. It's in your birthday. There's going to be a quiet part of you who's wise, who just is like, tell me more. So why do you feel like this business is for you? Why should I coach you? Why you? Why me? Why this? Why is it now that you're going to be successful? The power of questions. You're going to have people proving themselves to you, trying to gain your approval, trying to gain your tutelage and your wisdom, to think, tell me what I got to do. They don't know that you're still on your path to 6A. There's an infinite wisdom that the 10-year version of you in this business 10 years later is going to really know, that right now it's like still afraid of falling off the bike. In 5 years from now, this conversation won't be relevant, guys. You're going to be so much more powerful. I've been in this business for 5 years. I don't recognize any of you. You guys are all a year old. Maybe Craig. And some of my clients are a year and a half, maybe. But this is all brand new, guys. So when we're 5-6 years on the road, you're going to be very critical about your time. And in this case, at the very beginning, it can be like, pay attention to that. The 7 can get disassociated from time. It's the spiritual law. Okay, this is heaven. There are divine rules at this number. These numbers are getting serious, Bobby. What's going on, man? What happened? Why? I told you, the last 3 numbers are where we get into the divine concepts of mastery. So we have master spiritual people among us. Rita and Lisa, okay? Like those are, like Rita Guchin, please never, like as a human being, that's a tough name to hold, because it is over giving. When we talk about the 9, it's universe. When we talk about 1-9 with anything, you notice how it turns the vibration black? Is there any number that doesn't? If it's just a red number, maybe Sandon, K. Johnson. Not that difficult. But the positive ones show up with balance and mastery. And even the more powerful, even the more powerful number options, 898 and 988, they're still in black, because that's a severe challenge. It's jumping off the black diamond inside of skiing, if you ski. So their value is inside of there, okay? That there's a mastery concept awaiting us. This enters the vibration of the big kids on the block. These are the numbers that we want to use. I also like to use 6. It's good. Keeps you real. The 7 is intuitive. The 8 is the magnetic number of design. Peter and James are the only caretakers of entrepreneur vibration that are naturally occurring in their birthdays. Okay? So Welcome, welcome. These are the natural CEOs. They want to create a business for themselves. They want to be in control. James Peter Matisek is a balanced name of mastery. There is a power in this gentleman's name. So, unfortunately, James Matisek, there's wobbling down. Whereas the life path is 4, we've got an 8 in there. You see 22, we see 4, we see 8. This is a logical feel. We're expecting big things from this guy once this name gets powerfully plugged in. Absolutely, for sure, we're going to see that. But when we see 8s, law of attraction, law of attention, law of vibration, these are actual like physics. We're not talking about spirituality anymore. We're talking about radios, antennas, megahertz, energy frequencies, sending your thoughts into the space, into the ether, and creating wealth based on what you're telling people. My number, 876, puts me in a position of wealth, of spiritual backup, and of balance that you can trust what I'm going to say. It took me a while to get here. I took a name, and it took about 3 years to build up the integrity to actually come to you guys now and talk about things like my drug addiction and my self-hate, about where I used to be. I'm not there anymore. But the reality is that this numbers hold some sincere power for wealth. There's law of attraction, and this is energetic. It just so happens that wealth is energy. There's a reason why they call it currency, and the reason why the feeling of power is measured as a current. There's a power connection between what wealth is. We were just growing and evolving into a value of it. Wealth shows up monetary. Wealth shows up financially. It shows up, that's the same thing. Emotionally, it shows up romantically. It shows up socially. There's personal wealth. There's spiritual wealth. Law of attraction will take this number and move it through the concepts of where we want to take it. Notice how we see all these numbers here? There are a few that we don't. 1, 2, 3, 4 I like to take away from this chart. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 8 is linked into almost every one of these. So we can have spiritual wealth. We can have community wealth. We can have master version of spiritual community wealth. We can have wealth on top of wealth and global service. We can have wealth in terms of the ego, in terms of leadership, like fun in the sun, let's just make money. There's different ways to create wealth in your life. I'm going to be making sure that a name that you choose pays attention to this. This is where the technology gets really, really critical. So in case we line out a name for you and you don't feel like it's the one for you, do not be afraid to message me and let me know, Bobby, I don't know. Something happened here. What's going on? Okay. Nikki says, I was missing the 8 and added the 8 to bring in the wealth and leadership. It shows up this way. We're going to pick on Helen Louise Granhog, okay? Because she's not here. But the reality is that a negative 8 can disassociate from the self. When we see 8s running rampant, which glad we don't see too many of them here, we see a value of a number gone bad, intelligence that's unable to sort itself out. Reed really helped her out there because it brought the 8 back into focus. But some of your names are going to show up with negative 8s. I want to do business, but I can't. I want to create wealth, but these idiots won't listen to me. And that's the problem, is that we're not connecting to the power. We feel overtly powered or incompatible with the ability to make it happen. And it's like, shit, I just want to have this business. How come I can't? I know what to do. I know what to read. I'm reading the books. I got to figure it out, whatever. I'm going to do the thing. So how come it's not showing up? It's because the vibration didn't meet the last page. That can be difficult, okay? So when we're looking at 8s in power, we see wealth. The words you speak, guys, are going to be critically important. James, the words that you speak, they're going to happen. The problem is hiding underneath a 4 is the feeling of like, oh, I'm just going to stay loyal and local and small town, and feeling of I'm just going to be very practical. That's not serving your bigger dream, because the magnetic 8 is saying, well, that's what he's saying. So let's just play that game where we want to really move it forward. So 1965, you're in for some fun. Okay, there's going to be a switch happening for you fairly soon when you turn 55. When we get a chance now to look at the negative side of the 8, depression, suicide, addiction, spiritual suicide, which is much worse, disassociation of the self, checking out, too smart for their own good, wasted potential, negative to the self, they can show up with some interesting health issues, okay? The 8 could be very, very trapped neurosis and trapped to thought. It's not a pretty place. So we absolutely want to make sure this thing gets evened out. So when we're looking at a number, the number for wealth in its most magnetic and raw form is the 8. There's a reason why this is the other number that is the most powerful. So we see a vibration of business, but we lose a vibration of family. And they're not emotional people. The 8s show up as the business vibration. The 6 keeps us heart-centered. But in terms of everything that's happening, now we get a chance to look at the brain and the heart. So to really put that together is going to be a powerful feel to think, what direction do I want to grow into? Do I want to focus on my leadership right now? Do I want to focus on my business right now? Do I want to focus on community right now? Well, we got one more number to talk about. It doesn't look like we have any life path 9s. We do have some 9s in your names, guys. Some good, some not. And then we have poor Rita here with 999. So that's a hard definition to experience. Nikki was dealing with this as well. But 19 is enough heart for the whole universe. It's the global entrepreneur. It's the one who wants to care for others, take care of other people. It's the emotional, the emotionally spending, the exhausting emotionally, the feeling of a 9 that shows up September. Or how about on the day? Any day 9s? No month, no year 9s. But the values inside of September, inside of your name, Rita, inside of Lisa's name, shows up as a loving, caring vibe that is anti-self. So when we see numbers like this, they care so much about others. Peta Alice Matskos shows up as a cosmic angel. Her name says 988, 91111. That's emergency healer. I think Nikki was dealing with something like that too. I can't pull up Nikki's chart because I wrote it on a piece of paper. It was live. It was passion. Airport. People catch flights. We're doing a chart on a piece of paper. It's crazy. But the power inside here is to think that whatever you put this number to adds a level of cosmic and a level of, what's the word when you're like reincarnating and you're not just one life, but it's the soul's journey over a few lifetimes or over a few incarnations. Then 9 wants to show up as cosmically connected. We talked about the 7 being heaven. 9 is the cosmos. So there's a level of infinitism that shows up at the end of the human numbers. This number cares. It wants to give back everything. It wants to take care of others. It's got so much heart. We talked about 8 being the magnetic love or the magnetic business. The 9 is the universal love. So it will put whoever, whatever first. And the emotions that Rita must feel could be so dive and so deep that it can be like, I'm gone for days. And then the Rita Annabelle Guchin, you won't hear a peep. Be just nice and calm. But inside of her head, she is somewhere else. The feeling of being so absolutely disconnected that or connected to such a higher vibe or a higher generation can be very difficult to live as a human being. Like these numbers are like, wow. Vicky, I think I had several 9s from memory. I believe so. Let's take a look. Do we want to? Let's take a quick look down memory lane. We're going to take a look at Vicky's chart, and we see that there are 9s in her chart. 999, Vicky. You're not letting that go. That's not that. There's no letting go of this. She's born with a 9 as a name. She's got 9s inside of the day she was born. Which one did you go with? Did you come up with a name? Like, look at this. Vicky's iPad 2. Change the label on that to say the name that you want to show up on. So it would be like Vicky U or Vicky U something. Thanks, Rita. I know she's my sister. Cool. Who's that? James. I think I recognize the name Matisek. I felt like they did. But the amount of 9s inside of here are like they can overwhelm. They can be very, very overwhelming. Look at Rita. Rita, be friends with Vicky. You guys can definitely have a solid cry together. I would absolutely recommend that as one of the most valuable healing. Your tears will be like the healing of the world. You will cry the world's tears. The feeling of a 9 in there, oh man. So 7s, you want some advice? Meditate. 8s, you want some advice? If you're feeling stuck, I wonder, go sell something. Go make some money. If it means you got to get rid of something that's old or donate something or create wealth with something that you have in your house, the feeling of creating and generating a profit would be a very powerful feel. Read a book and go live and or make a post about it and make a post about what you're reading. Inspire someone. In terms of 9, go out and volunteer. Go out and help a small person or an old person, okay? But the feeling inside of 9 is I want to help someone else. I want to cure something. So when we're looking at 9s in business, you're all very, very blessed to think that if you follow the impact, if you follow the purpose, if you follow the change that you can create in someone's life, I'm looking at this being like, every time I get a check, someone's life is going to change forever. Someone's network is going to change forever. Someone's trajectory of their whole world, whether it be financially, hopefully, or at least physically, if they drink the water, they're going to go through some big change. And I feel very powerful for that there's a powerful level of impact that is happening because of my choice. So don't be afraid to talk about the big things there, okay? The value of 9 needs to be balanced with a 6 or with an 8. There really isn't any other place I can think of where the 9 is going to show up that's not going to be problematic. Like Rita's never going to tell you what's going on. She's going to be very, very quiet. That 7 doesn't say what's going on. The 9 just feels a lot. Lisa Marie Mills saves. That's a savior comparison to Lisa Marie Clark, which can be infinitely quiet. Now, we're going to quickly describe some 11s and 22s. These are angels and builders, okay? We have master spiritual connection, November 11, 29, PETA, okay, with a valuable level of spiritual connection. This is someone who's absolutely connected to the guys upstairs. Brianna as well, angel numbers. Life path 11, name path 11. Someone else had a 472. I can't remember who it was. Or a 742, 4711. I think that was you, Brianna. We were just adding it out again. But the feeling of an 11 is that we're going to go through some tough shit in life, guys. We're going to go through some tough stuff. We're going to have to grow through experience, and it may be a little bit longer before we get our success in life. There's a spiritual connotation for Caroline, for Marina, this feeling of connected at the angel level. Some of the numbers 2 that show up are also 11s. I just didn't count them out, okay? So there is a stage inside of us that want to have a spiritual conversation, to know that the past loved ones that we talk to are guiding us, and to get those spiritual intuitions, the feeling of seeing numbers on the clock or on the odometer or seeing numbers on your bill or on the gas pump. Wherever numbers, cool numbers show up, there's a value inside of there that can give you the power of angel. This is a powerful leverage point, okay? To get heavy lifting done, call in my soul tribe, tell me what I need to know, show me what I need to learn. The feeling shows up in an 11 to think that these people are connected at the angel side. So guess who's talking to your guides, guys? I am. Guess who's talking to the really vocal energies that are swirling around you inside of a session? They're pushing me to say shit. They're like, oh, tell them this. Or sometimes I get angry. I'm like, why am I angry? Like, why am I not angry? Why? What is that? Someone's mad at you. Someone says you should be doing more. Someone says that you should get you're like, oh my God, that sounds like my granddad. He was always this hard ass. And, that was the way my mother showed up. She'd slap me on the head and say, I love you. That feeling is like they talk to me and they want to share because I'm an 11. So if you get into coaching or connection, spiritual partnership, spiritual relationship, don't be afraid to dial up and be like, yo, Angel, so what's up? How's things going? What's the good word? How's it happening? Like, so we got success happening for me. I'm ordering a large pizza. Like, we're not, is it on the docket? Like, is it going to happen? We're more like, let me put my order in. Imagine what happens when you call mom. Are you hungry? Do you want some food? Are you cold? Are they feeding you? Should I get you some things to wear? Are you hungry? It's like, Mom, I'm not hungry and I'm fine. I'm dry. It's like, oh, well, thanks for calling. They just want to be there for you. So if you call your spiritual family, whatever you need, they're just happy that you call. So don't worry about reading into the numbers so much. Just know that they're there. All right, guys, make it easy. Let's do this. I'm showing up. I know you're there. I know you're watching me. Help me through this. Give me something I can use. Send me my tribe. Let me find the people that I'm supposed to be with. Like, put that in there for me. The 11 will make it easier. The 22, at the same notion, we have to call it in, but the 22s are builders. There's only two of us here, born in 1984, or James as well, wants to do big things, wants to create a large level of something. Guess who's born on July 22nd, 1984? 7/22/22. Clint. Clint has this in his chart. He's like, man, I want to just get massive with this. I want to create something with this. The massive 22 shows up to say, I want to hold a large foundation for a group of people that it's going to take a while to build it, but when it gets built, it's going to absolutely come into power. So the same thing that shows up with James, we respect what he's going to say, okay? There's a power in that because this person knows what they're talking about, but we want to definitely make sure James can cultivate a spiritual relationship so that it's not all practical, logical, got to figure it out from the mind. Sometimes there are certain things we can't figure out, and that's the natural alignment to the bigger picture, the 22. Because we have it, let's talk about it. Triple twos. Loving connection and partnership to spirituality. The triple two will be a master of partnership and leadership in that. Then we have what else do we have? Double fives, master of war. These people are absolutely going to go through a challenge in life, and they are going to show up as a leadership force for that, okay? Double threes in Carolyn's chart, there is a master love. The master 33 wants to balance and teach people and be a master artist. There's going to be love and care, as well as a very powerful feeling of you being able to dance, sing, joy, create, art, write, do something for the world to bring joy and love to it and to teach people how to do that. So we see those double numbers are showing up powerful. How about that double seven, though? That double seven connected to spirituality so much that you may not even like people. Let's be honest. These numbers could be like, I just want to be by myself. I just want to be by myself with thoughts, with God, with whatever it is. They may not be too concerned about social anything. Then we have numbers like the quadruple ones. That's angel savior, okay? These get into really powerful concepts of mastery through angel. Like, that's a large level of numbers to go through. I think we should call it there. What I want to do now is I want to grow into the second part of our time together. I know we're taking a bit of long time, so this is where we get a chance to even some people out. So we're going to move this thing over, and I still want to make this a bit smaller. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, let's do it like this. Cool. So we've got a vibration now chart, okay? I'm just going to catch up on some of this. I've had psychic connections. I haven't used it. Carolyn, start using it. They're like, come on. All you got to do is ask. I'm a genie here for you, whatever you need. Okay, angel. Angel of, I need your help, please, and ask for whatever you need. Help with angel of mercy, gratitude, abundance, patience, love. There are 22,000 angels that have just as much power as archangels. There you go, okay? Rita, I also noticed you did my birthday, the birthday from my birth certificate. Rita has 2 birthdays. Like, if you're off by 1 number, okay, and she's got 2 birthdays, the reality is that there is a value of 6, and then if she's born 2 days later, then it's going to be 22, 22, and then 8, which is Master Wizard. Which is it, Rita? Are you may like have a difference in your birthday? Who knows, right? Something happened, and the documents got switched around. Do you align more to the family, or do you align more to the business? Let's get this done. Do you want to be a mom and that's it, and just be a loving force of family, or do you want to absolutely make sure that partnership, discipline, care, and a spiritual understanding of being a master builder comes forth for you, where you see quadruple 2s? That's a powerful session either way. That I don't know. I absolutely have no idea like what that thing would look like, because I would like to connect with you personally. This is very strange for me to think. I'm like, man, this gives me a lot of questions. So I hope that you guys find value inside of a private session with me one day. But this should lead you up for sure to run with that. Rita says, I would also like to see my real birthday according to my mother. I am going to give you 2. Okay, Rita, because we don't know which one yours truly is. You're going to get 2 reports from me so that you can see which one you align with most. But with a name like Rita Gutchen, it's almost so disassociated from reality that it's like even your birthday is fuzzy. Like, it's so spiritually overwhelming that I feel it here. I feel this thing in my feeling that hurts. Like, it's almost like it hurts to be alive. Like, that can be a very difficult number to run. So if you guys can help me here and just beam all of, like, we're campfire, right? This is super shaman stuff. We're all just beaming our love and our light from this. She shows up as the infinite inside of our time together. And same with Vicky, same with Nikki. These people are infinite conduits of universe. So she's showing up for us to be the universe. Let's fix that. We want to close that up, zip that up, get you set up for business. Let's not go so spiritual here. We want to be human beings. We want to die one day. We want to live one day. We want to create success one day. We want to do things with our existence. This is overwhelming for me. But powerful numbers, absolutely powerful numbers. But we have to give you 2 reports, because this could be a 6 and an 8. So you've got both numbers there, okay? So you're the only life path 6 and the only life path 8. We'll see what happens. And so, yes, absolutely, we're definitely going to take a look at that for you. Business numbers. Now, guys, let's look at what this looks like. We're going to do Facebook called names, and then we're going to also set yourself free for Sandon. We're going to help put a value for business, okay? So if you just have one letter to pick, we're just going to be one color. If I have to add a second letter or a second color, we're going to have to say that this is for business, okay? So there's going to be 2 versions of this. Maybe red means you got a second name or a second vibe. Like, see how Brianna has 2? There's going to be a power to run this. So, Brianna, Witahira, you do not need to take a letter. If you want to take a letter, you can. If you want to take a letter to grow from here, would be to move to global vision. It would be the letter B, the letter K, or the letter T. As a life path 11, I have this. I'm using this. I'm using 876. My personal choice is you do this. There may come a time when you become is so extremely magnetically multimillionaire powerful that you may want to take the letter B, the letter K, the letter T, and turn this into a global visionary and step into the light as a true visionary of business and a true vision of power. If you have questions, write them in the chat unless you feel like you want to say it, in which case absolutely unmute yourself. The name Brianna Wittihera is a name I would be using. Now the reality is I think you're married to a Van Ruyen, right? So we would want to move your name over to think that that would be the vibe you want to use. You can confirm it for me or not. Your Facebook personal page name needs no alignment unless you're planning on kicking it into outer space. I plan on creating a very lovely life for myself and for my family with your name, okay? So just so you know, Brianna L. Van Ruyen does not work for business. We need to change this right away. If you want to keep L, you would take the letter O and go LO or Brianna Lo Van Ruyen. You could even do Van Ruyen. So you can play with this, okay? You can put the letter O wherever you want to put it in. It's up to you, okay? This vibe here will bring you back to 876. This is a powerful number for business. This is if you put the letter O in it. You could also take the L out and put a B, a K, or a T and run a vibration that says partnership, family, and business. The only difference is that this is more partnership and less spiritual. Whereas if you take the LO, it's business, spirit, and family connection. So if you're much more of a diviner and a feeling of spiritual, you may find power in this with the LO. Or if you want to just keep things simple, you can take the K. Because, yeah, L with an extra O, great. Curiously enough, does one of those options stand out for you over the next, or do you feel like it's something you need to think about? You can write it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself if you want to. You can. Did one of the options show up? Brianna K, Brianna V, or Brianna B. So loving the FB name. So in this case, you would take your business name and use Brianna Wittihera. Is that what you're saying? Okay, you want to think about it. Let's think about it, okay? If you want to come back to, if you like, I just want to pull this as an example. You're not rushed. You may want to take a consideration about this. You may want to feel it. Sign your name. Sign it. See which one shows up. Brianna Lo V Ruyen. Okay, does that, or Van Ruyen, does it show up the way it wants to? Or does it sign off really well? Or does it become too complicated? If you like your FB called name, that would be a really powerful take on it. Then shorten it up and just be Brianna Wittihera. But food for thought. We can come back to you. What I wanted to do is make sure that I actually come together with a name that works. So I'm so sorry, Sandon. We actually we skipped on you, so we're going to go back to Sandon now. Now, so in Sandon's case, she's got two options. Okay, so one is your Facebook name, and the other one is your business name. If we're balancing out your Facebook name, you can take K and you can add a letter A to it. Okay. Sandan K.A. Johnson. This will turn you into a 696. And the problem with the 595 is the fight to the self. This is a master warrior. You're a life path 5 already. So you're like, absolutely, hell yeah. But is it working for business? It's not. Is it working for long-term life and long-term value? It isn't. It's working for the experience and keeps you free. You may want to take something to line this thing up. If you keep the K and you add an A to it, then you grow to here. So it would be K-A, Nikki is saying here, you can only change your name, Facebook page once every 30 days, so make sure you're 100% before changing it. Yeah, otherwise you're signing a new page. They do not let you keep doing this. If we pick a name, keep it for 6 months, keep it for 12 months. If it's the wrong name, we'll change it. If you really don't want to keep it, just don't split or splatter over names here, guys. We want to make sure this thing keeps powerful. So to balance out K Johnson, we're adding a letter A. We're also able to add a letter 595, right? So C or L. Sandon K or L Johnson, C or L Johnson shows into this 538, which should be fun, enjoyability. Let's have some fun. Let's create some business. Very, very powerful inside of there, okay? If it goes Sandon U Johnson, this gives you access to the value of power in business, power in spirit, and power in family. I would be recommending any one of these names over the other ones. They're the ones that I would show up with. So Sandon, if Sandon's saying that's the one, Sandon Universe Johnson, the feeling of the U should absolutely show up and say that's the one. Or if you want to take letter KA or letter like BA or TA, absolutely, you can do that. Okay, Honey's saying, yep, that's right. Created a second page to get the name I wanted, and I had to merge the pages. Had a massive negative impact on my reach, impressions, and interactions. Basically, starting from scratch. Be certain about your name change before you change. Is my recommendation. I would like to think that what Heine's dealing with should not be more than an irritation and an annoyance, but that would be my thought on that. Okay. Sandon, if you want to set yourself free, what I would do is I would add something else into this. So the problem with this is that it's not freedom, it's hard work. So can I confirm, is Sandon U Johnson the way you want to grow? Or do you feel like it might be another letter? Let's balance out your business name while you answer me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at your name there. I would recommend that you use this as a name for business as well. If you're good to do that, then say that now. Let's line up your business name to make sure that that works. But if you're planning on making a change to your business name, let's put something together that's going to work for this. Right now, if we just take the easy option, set yourself free, okay? The value I would put in here would be G, P, or Y. This would give you a value of this, G, P, or Y. So G, P, or Y. This one would be your business vibe, okay? So we have a vibe here that shows up as your second name. This will set yourself free. It's a little bit more about freedom, but it's still structured. It doesn't have the vibe of freedom, okay? How about something like Sandon Johnson, set yourself free. This one here would be Sandon B, K, or T Johnson, set yourself free. B, K, or T Johnson, set yourself free. This one brings you back to the vibration here. So it would be B, but you'd also have to put in another letter and put Johnson. So it would be like B Johnson. Oh, that's hard on the eyes. Whoo, that's hard on the eyes. So what we're going to do is we're going to just make that all white, okay? So the Sandon B Johnson, set yourself free, puts you back to this vibe. In case you're like, but I like set yourself free. Like, that's my gift. That's my thing, right? You can absolutely be there and use that, okay? Yeah, absolutely, Heidi. I get what you're saying. The merges, you lose all of your data. It becomes a shit show. So merging pages, don't do it. Just start a new page. Collect data on an old one. Don't be lazy. That's the feeling of creating a new page. Absolutely. Happy to remove, set yourself free, okay? Sandon U Johnson, take the stage, okay? You use that. That's what you're going to use for business, because I believe you should have the same name. I use the same name. If you guys are like, no, I want to use something else, by all means, you're more than free to take one name for life, show up for the family, one name for business, show up for your clients. It's not a bad look. but I do want to make sure Brianna makes a choice. Otherwise, it's going to stay black by the end of it. And I'm like, well, I want to balance this thing out. Right now, Brianna's business is not making a communication. It doesn't know what to say. It doesn't have the value of power on your business page, and people are not going to want to interact on it. So it's going to be very quiet on that business page. Moving in intuition, moving in power would be changing this thing around. So right now it says L because that's who it is. That's how it actually shows up. But if it had a vibration of a BK or a T, then we have a vibration of communication, partnership, and business. Or you just take the same thing you're using with your Facebook and you absolutely align that way on business as well. Keep thinking about it. When you're ready to jump in, we're going to interrupt and we're going to come back to Brianna. How about James? James is in a particular situation here because most of your numbers, James, are hardworking, loyal, practical, absolutely business-minded, protection, connection, wants to work hard, wants to think big term, wants to do the right thing. There's a connection of power inside of your natural alignment. You may say, that's it, I'm rolling up my sleeves, I'm going to do this, I don't care how serious I look. James Peter Matisek, there's a reason why it shows up like this. You could use it. If we're looking to leverage on fun, look at this, 1965, 53 or 52, you're going to be coming 55 one day. The number 3 is going to show up for you. There's going to be fun in your chart. You may not be so far off as to have a 3 in your name that helps you move forward. So what I would do with James Matisek is I would put a J or an S to make it fun. If we want to make it serious, we've got some work to do to create something else that will challenge inside of the feeling inside of here. Because another name would take us back to the original. James P. Matisek, or now shows up as what? You could use James Up UP, okay, or PU, which probably is probably not something I'd probably have like James PU Matisek, right? Or James Up Matisek, okay, or UP, okay. There's a value inside of that vibration that takes you to 628. So it'd be UP, PU, or even be UG or UY. But the combination of the letter U plus GP or Y would be the value inside of that. We could also look at James Peter or James Pete, but this vibe is fun in the sun. Your life path is more about hard work in the sun. So this may be the oh my God, oh dude, thank you so much. I've been working super freaking hard. I just wanted a break in life. I just want to make it freaking easy for once. Put the J in there. James J, or even James with 2 S's. James Matisek with 2 S's in there. Or you could spell James with 2 S's here. There's a loving, fun sweetheart inside of the name James. Cares about others a lot more than he cares about himself. That guy James, okay? I know that name. It's a very loving vibe. So you may be very powerful now to take the James S or James J and run this thing into fun, or James PU, GU, YU, UY, and take a more serious approach. Let me just quickly take a look at James Peter, okay? And we go, or James Peter, Pete will do the same thing. But James Peter B, James Peter K, or James Peter T will be the one that you would come up to the top end if you wanted to be a part of this group. Not everybody has to run for the same name, guys. There is a value in power, in variety, but you'll notice with me, if I see the 876, I'm like, ooh, or the 786, I'm like, ooh, take it. It's good. It's got you everything in it. I love it. So this would be James Peter T, or James Peter K, or James Peter B, okay? So in case that wants to show up. If you want to make a choice, by all means, write it into the chat so I can line this up and it can get you out of the red. If you need some time to think about it, well, it's because you want to go through everything and think about it a bunch of times. But the problem with James Matisek is that he's not standing up for himself. James P. Matisic is just going to get into arguments with people, and it doesn't want to do business. Where you're like, no. I have an 8 here. See, I'm an entrepreneur, and I don't mind to work hard. Right? The name here says no communication and just fights itself. We want to change these. So you let me know if one of those options stands out for you above the rest. That would be good to know. James Peter T. Okay, so that's up there. So what we're gonna do with Sandin is we're gonna delete all this stuff. We don't need it anymore, and we've decided on the U. Thank you, Brianna. You can think about it. I'm not gonna push you right now. You get a chance to decide. Brianna K, B, K, or T. Very powerful. Okay. How about now, PETA? With or without the surname, or without. Okay. So without. So it would be Peter James T. So if you were to take off Matisic, if you keep Matisic on, you absolutely want to put something else there besides Peter. It would be one of the initials. If you have questions, now's the time. I will come back for you. PETA. Now, PETA is a vibration of he works hard. This PETA, meet James. Okay, James, meet PETA.
We've already met. I'm not scared to talk to you, Bobby, so go hard.
Okay, so look at these charts. 283, 823, 2248, 448, both life path forward. These people have some ideas. Okay, they're like they know what they're doing. PETA Matskos has got a very strong power inside of spirituality. You're an angel. Okay, you're an angel. You're gonna be like, if I got in trouble and I needed you to come bail me out, you would come, but then you would be giving me shit on the way home, being like, Bobby, what the hell? Why would you do this? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I know, like, you got to do better than this. And you're gonna give me heck, but you're absolutely gonna be there for me. Okay, this is a wonderful name. Absolutely, you are an angel, and people like Nick, you're gonna recognize this. The name is too hardworking. Way too hardworking.
Yeah, because even like a lot of people can't say it, including yourself. So it is too hard.
Yep, and it's sucking the soul right out of us. So let's say we do a quick little letter. You're looking at the G, P, or Y, and this.
I've already thought of the P. I think ahead because I'm 4. Remember, so I'm thinking of a P.
Okay, so
but I'm also looking at your, what is it? 876, because I go all in otherwise.
Okay, so then what are we looking at if you're going to go powerful with this? You're going to take PETA Alice. Is it Matskos? Is that how you say it?
Very close. It's Matchos. It's a silent TS.
Okay, so Matchos.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Okay, so it would go PETA Alice, and then with your last name. And then in this case, we would add, oh wait, I think I spelled it wrong. Matskos. M-A-T, is
MATTSCHOSS.
Okay, hold on. It shows up here. Did I do this right? Hold on. Oops. 922. Okay, so because I miscalculated this, I'm glad to see that this shows up, but not much different. Okay, your number is going to look like this. It's going to go 1, 1, 1, 1. So there's no 9 in there. It's actually, this is no longer as problematic. We're going to put this back to the yellow. It's going to work, but we're also going to make sure we see it. It's a very spiritual number, but there's strong level of leadership in this, okay? So there's a very powerful feeling inside of the original name that you have. This is an angel. We absolutely have angel here. This is an angel. So when we see a name path that shows up this way, you could take this and balance this out. How do we get 876? So in which case it's not going to work if I put a number with that. So we go, let's go PETA with your last name, and then we would look at something that says, let's go E and then B. E, B, E, K, or E, T, okay? This value gives you a much needed upgrade, but we have the combination of taking the letter E, and then you can add B, K, or T. So PETA B or PETA T, with the E on it, but any combination of those two bring you up to Master Woman, okay? Would be a strong connection. Very, very powerful.
So is that with or without the matros?
With the matros.
With the matros. So basically, instead of Peter A, it would be Peter E.T. sort of stands out to me. So
you could even do something like this. Play with me here for a second. You could go, like, let's say no initial, but then you go E.T. like that. Peter Matros. Like, that would be the exact same feel. So some people are a bit more keen to hide a letter in there as opposed to taking on a letter that doesn't have any relevance. But in case it shows up that way, it's up to you. You have to have the E, and then the next letter would be B, K, or T. So you get a chance to choose Peter E.T. Matros. Would be fitting, seeing as you're more or less an angel.
It's already cold, so go for it.
Yeah. So however you want. So what do you think? Which one's your choice?
E.T.'s already come to my head as you were before you said it. So
Okay, cool. So let's put this up to 966, and let's give you purple. Okay. So we're gonna absolutely. Yeah, you're in the green, or you're in the purple now, and we'll also change this one. This goes for your personal and your business page. We absolutely want to make sure if you're gonna go all in, guys, where you show up for your family, where you show up for your business. They both matter. Everyone has a universe to their own, some more powerful than others, but every single existence will be measuring you guys. Every single existence out there will be taking your new name and registering it inside of their chart. We're doing pretty good so far. So we're taking here, how about something like P2P, removing just her last name? Well, let's take a look. That also has something power in there. Absolutely wants to have an extra feeling, which would be either PB or PD or PM or PV. So P to PV or P to PM or P to PT. Yeah, those would work. Okay, so but without the last name. So you could definitely have a larger range of letters. We're just adding the total of them. But if you have questions for that, let's ask them at the end. Or if you are curious, now would be the time. Helen, I don't believe is with us right now, unless she is. She told me that she had somewhere else to be. I'm like, other than me? Really? Huh. So we're booking some. She booked some time, so I still had her chart. So Helen, just a quick little, too bad, sorry you're not here. Your name is aligned. You're probably going to watch the replay. Your name is aligned. If you want to move into Master Woman, the shift that you could take would be Helen G, Helen P, or Helen Y Reed. Okay, so just so you know, there is a shift available for you, not required. Okay, how about Lisa Marie Mills? Now, Lisa Marie, this number is good. Okay, this is a whistle while you work at a bell. Are you unmuting? Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you going?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm excited.
Are you finding value in this so far? Has this been good?
Yeah, and I want to add a letter in somewhere.
So, okay, so now here's the look, okay? You got a 5 life path. So the value of 5 says, I'm fun. This is like, I'm social. Let me unmute myself. I'm going to say some stuff. The feeling of the 5, they're fun people, okay? They're going to be ambitious. We talked about this. The name that you hold is going to be the reason why you're much more organized than you are, as fun as you like to be. When you get a chance to align your name, there's nothing wrong with taking the D, the M, or the V. In case you're thinking, hey, Lisa Marie M. Mills or Lisa Marie V. Mills. This capitalizes on the 3 in your chart, the 2019 3, the 5 in your chart. This would be a fast and solid run to 6A. James, pay attention to this one too. You could choose this for 2019, and it would be the best thing you could do for the year. And then in 2020, grow into a new number. Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. But we do have other options in case you're wanting to drop Marie or if you're wanting to work with something else. But any thoughts on this?
I want the V.
Okay. We have Lisa Marie V. Mills. Okay. So we're going to take a vibration in here. And this one is like, you know what? I picked it. I get it. The 5, they know how to decide and move on. I like that. So we're going to get a vibe here that shows up with a solid vibration of starter kit for business, we see a sincere power. So we're going to highlight this in green, and this is a good let's get running vibe, okay? When you, like, it'll be like passion on fire. Do the go lives, get out there and make the posts, take the selfies, talk to people, have a social experience, make friends, have fun this year. Let's run to 6A. You have time inside of 2019 to do 2 full 90-day sprints. Did you start one this month yet, or is that like not? Did we not talk about that?
Have I started a sprint this month?
Yeah.
I'm doing the 4A in January, so
Fair enough.
yes.
In March, April, or February, you may say, that's it, I'm going hard for 90 days. It'd be kind of tough to do that in April or in February because you just got fresh out of a 30-day challenge. So you may be doing this in February, you may do this in March, but you run for 3 months and you power drive your business on all-out massive action. This is going to be the value that takes you to 6A this year, and then do it once again in the fall before, like in the late summer. I don't know if you need to. Just too busy. But the power of passion will definitely keep you running. Okay. Nikki's saying 6A all the way, baby.
Yes, baby.
Honestly, guys, like 6A is like I'm at 106 or 107 sales. And I right at a month where they said you also have to make $300,000. I'm like, come on, I'm doing it. I'm making it happen, guys. Now they want to make me. I've got like $5,000 to go before you see me become 6A. So stay tuned. It's going to happen by tooth and nail. My business builds a bit slower than my numerology business, but I understand that things take time. I'm not worried about it. All I can say is that 6A is where the fun begins. This is the entry point and the break free from the comp plan. At this point, you get to 100 sales, you go back to 1, and you do it again under your 4A. You go back to 1, and you do it again with your leaders. You go back to 1, and you start farming 6As. So if you guys are like getting hot and horny for the 6A concept, please iron that in to the culture of the way your business designs itself. You will be thankful in times of like 5-6 years from now when you've got people in your team are hitting 6A2 and you're into the big money, okay? But cultivate a leadership mentality of 6A. That's why I was like, man, this isn't the first time. Nikki's like 10X to 6A or 10X Queen. Rise, what someone else had 6A all the way. But yes, Nikki, it's a powerful. I've got a sale that's ready to go through, but they only want to buy like a smaller machine. So I'm like reluctant to put the sale in because I want to put another one in to qualify me, and it's complicated. But anyway, 6A problems. Let's get it, guys. This is the month, okay? So we're looking at Lisa taking a powerful back to the story. This will run you to your leadership rank. At 6A, you may be like, Bobby, I need something more serious. What else we got? You may never get there. If you never get there, no worries. If you do, this is where we're going to talk about it. Now, let's talk to Rita for a second. This is like we're coming into the power of the most spiritual name in front of us. So what we're going to do is we're going to line this thing up, and we're going to take a look at what we can do with this. The A didn't quite cut it. If we take Rita Guchin and we put an F or an X to this, this will immediately and very, very powerfully balance you out for love and balance you out for things like, you know, long-term love, community love, family love, business love. It wants to show up with master woman, which would be a power in business as well as in relationship, and it would take care of the self-love concept that needs to be putting in there. Guys, I would really suggest the F or the X or the O. The other vibe, if your birthday really is the 22nd, you could be like, dude, I need to take the H. I need to take the H. I'm going to continue the mastery. I'm going to stay black, and I'm going to go into master global visionary. If you know which one you want to take, you let me know. But please do not rock around with Rita Guchin, which is an absence of the sense of self, or Rita A. Guchin, which is the self-sacrifice to others. This is an emergency healer. We do not need this showing up for business. It's going to rip you apart, and it's going to be not the one you want to grow with, okay? If you want to keep the letter A, it's not FX.
X, please.
It's F or X. Okay,
X.
so okay, thank you,
X.
Rita.
X.
So Rita X Guchin. I love it. This thing shows up as queen. You're stepping into oh man. Oh, I feel like I'm doing the universe a very powerful favor and closing a very strong window that has been open. This will elevate you to a power of queen that I absolutely appreciate. So feels good.
Wow. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Yes. Okay, I can breathe a little bit better now, knowing that this love is going to be directed towards the self now, and you got a lot of spiritual ingredients to see that lineage show up. You take your spiritual place takes its rise in the world. Very, very wonderful. How about Tracy? Okay, so Rita, any questions about any of this?
No, I'm happy with that. And you're spot on with the self-love and just giving myself to others, and I certainly appreciate, and I just want to say thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. That's really sweet. It can get pretty real. Okay, this is life. This isn't a game. This isn't a joke. Even though it looks kind of cool, this is your life. So I mean, like, I can only imagine what stuff must have happened on the inside of Rita to show up this chiseled and this powerful. I feel power in your voice. So I don't know you, but I'm pretty sure these people understand you to be powerful. I think you might have been born on the 22nd. Just saying. You may have been born on the 22nd.
I always was born on the 22nd. When I got my birth certificate at 17, there was a muck up with the hospital. My mum, she's 81. James is my brother. He can attest to that. I do have to go by identification, but I still feel, I know within myself, I'm born on the 22nd, even though it says that. I have done a lot of self-healing, so the self-love is certainly thing. And even when I was looking at the letters of 0FX, I'm like, FX, oh, that looks like a fox, I don't know. As soon as you said X, it just resonated. X's for me. Thank you.
The X is a symbol of one dimension meeting the other. Okay, so we've got a crossroad of connection power in there. It's much more powerful than just looking cool like Clint and Christy, okay? So there's a powerful feeling. I could have chosen the X as well, too. Come on, Bobby F or X, right? But my middle name is Francisco, and I'm like, I'm not going to take an X. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Where now looking back, I'm like, man, I should have done it. That would have been kind of neat. But the fact that you chose that, I appreciate that for sure. So let's move to Tracy. Now, Tracy is going to have my options show up. This is a tough one because either one of these are powerful. The nuance between them will be love or money. Both have both. The Tracy V, Tracy M, or Tracy D. Did I do that? Okay. How about a calling? Does Tracy know which one fits the best for you? Do you have one that sticks out?
No, nothing.
Okay.
It's not sticking out for me. No.
Okay, so let's take a look a little bit further into your chart. The value of 4 and 6 and 6 and 4. This is the name will speak of order and balance. The next logical move from this will be going into 628, which would be DM or V. The power of a 628 shows up as a mother, a coach, and also a business or a spiritual person. The B, the K, or the T flares out the feminine side. So there are two pieces to your chart. The one part of your life path which says pretty, lovely, a big kid, You sound young. The value of wanting to stay youthful will appreciate the B, the K, or the T. The April, the Tracy Kerr McClelland, the value of structure, and the 4 will appreciate the D, the M, or the V. So depending on which vibration you want to flare into the feminine or to move more into the spiritual business. Both have love. Both have a 6. One leans a bit more into the intuition. This is the 628. You have it already in your name. That's that strong sense of power. Whereas the other one is an expression of a strong sense of power. My personal opinion, you're hooped. I love both of them. So if you need to think about it, I can appreciate that. But in terms of 2019, what about you though? Tell me about Tracy. What does success look like for Tracy? And I will give you my honest spiritual opinion.
I think, look, it's not just business success, it's personal as well. I've done a lot of work over the last 12 months around self-love, valuing, respecting myself. I had done a lot of self-sabotage. I didn't trust myself. Didn't feel enough, didn't feel worthy. So in the last 12 months, I've done so much work around that. And I feel like I'm on the other side, and I feel like I'm now connecting to my spirituality. When I joined GAS, I really felt uncomfortable with the spirituality, and it took me a long time to realize that I was in fact spiritual, but for some reason I was running away from it instead of running into it. So I feel that there's some very strong connection to the universe, and I have a lot of love now for the world. Not that I didn't before, but a lot more love for everything and everybody now. A lot more appreciation, a lot more gratitude, and as I said, a lot more self-love for me. So what does success look like? I just want to succeed in this business. I want to get to that 6A. I want to get to 6A this year. But I also want to continue on what I started in the last quarter of 18, which was that adventure, that curiosity, that fun, joy and happiness, enlightenment. I don't want to lose sense of that.
Yeah, sounds like you're selling yourself on the B, the K, or the T. I was listening for when does money come in? When does she start talking about wealth? Your wealth is being more in the energetic, the value, the spiritual, the emotional, and wow, it just brings a love tone to this whole conversation. I'm reading Diane's like, love that name. Such a great feeling to this call. Big love, sending you big loves and hug, Tracy. Energy in here is super amazing, guys. I'm like very loving it right now. After the month that I've had, December's busy month, holidays, all that stuff, you guys showing up is a very healing feeling for me. And to think that we're doing some serious power, I would say the natural progression for your path into continue the maturing of love would be the letter B, the letter K, or the letter T. Tracy T. Kerr McClelland, Tracy B. Kerr McClelland, or Tracy K. Kerr McClelland. However it shows up for you, do one of those letters poke out more than the rest, or at the check-in call, are you feeling pulled back to the DM or V?
I guess I'm leaning towards the B.
Let's do it. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, so we're going to change these up on our personal page, and this is really, really powerful. So I'm really turning this into what I really wanted to see. This is what I had a vision of this. It was all white. and I was writing your guys' names. I'm like, man, I'm going to turn this into colors, and then I'm going to turn them all green and purple and blue and whatever. And I'm going to elevate and move people and migrate them. And I could see it in my mind's eye that this was going down. It was so super cool. If any of you guys have a sense of imagination or intuition, I would definitely be like talking to your future self. Go back and talk to your past self. Be the angel that you were praying to in those dark days. Go back now and be like, I love you. Thank you for not dying. Thank you for sticking it through. I know that times are tough. I'm going back through time right now to let you know that you're going to make it. And I do that to myself all the time. And now I look back and I'm like, whoa, super freaky. I remember as a kid being like, this too shall pass. And I remember those messages coming in from them. Oh, man. And then I'm like, quickly, talk to my future. Thank you. Thank you so much for not giving up. You made so much money. Look at that house. Oh, my God, you did it. It's crazy. Look at this thing. It's so awesome. You're so awesome. And imagine what you would tell yourself in the future if you knew you were going to succeed. You'd be like, I'm not giving up on you. I know it's been a rough road. I hate myself sometimes, but I'm glad that I'm not going to give up. This is where we're really going with this, guys, because you're getting a recording of this. I don't know when you're listening to this in the future, but tip for all of my clients that are in here, go back and listen to your reading especially before you book in another one. Listen to your recording. And also, if you guys don't mind, anyone here who hasn't downloaded their goodies, their session notes, please do it right away and message me, Bobby, I've downloaded it so I can delete it from my file because I'm running out of space right now. So back to the topic. Let's take a look. How about any quick... just change my name to Zoom page Lisa Marie V Mills. Yeah, absolutely, guys. Use your aligned names for your Zoom handle. Please do it. Makes me feel good when I see you guys on your Winning Wednesdays and you're, showing up as leaders and they're interviewing you, and then it says, I put the letter in her name. She's successful because of me. No, I'm just kidding. But please use it everywhere you go. Okay. I want to run through this power. Sandon's giving me some powerful advice. She said, I've gone through the 876 quickly. There's a reason why I love it. We're looking at the very powerful numbers in the universe. 6 is the first one. 7 speaks for intuition. 8 speaks for business. 6 speaks for balance. When I get a chance to use these numbers all at once, it's an all-star vibration. So the 966s show up as kings and queens. The 628s show up a godlike being. The 786 and the 876, they show up. We show up as master of all-star. So we have our business up front. Unless you're 786, this will be intuition up front. But the power of this, I'm going to show up for business. I want a business conversation. I'm absolutely going to make sure that people know that I'm here to talk about wealth. But in the inside of the numbers, 7 shows up as a value. If we're going to change this real quick, a value of God connection, spiritual connection, intuition, divine sense of quiet. Inside of my being is a temple to which I connect to the source and to the divine. I'm meditating as we speak. I meditate during talks. I meditate when I go live. You ever notice I get into a flow state? It's because that 7 in the inside of me is quiet as a meadow inside of a very serene area. Before, I had a number that was attacking myself, negative sense of self, and it drove me into addiction and self-loathing. Now, I don't fight myself on the inside because my name shows up with 7. I'm cool and calm, okay? So I know that I keep my intuition really powerful. Then the 6 shows up to balance between love and money because I want to be a dad. I want to raise my kids. I don't want to just do business. I definitely want to do business, but it's all for them, And then people around me, they become family to me. If any of my clients meet my kids, guess who's an uncle or an auntie? It's not just an Indian thing, like, oh, there's your uncle. It's a feeling for me to know that you guys have actually been there to inspire the wealth of my family. So I connect very, very sacredly. That's the business, the sacred trust, and the family connection. So hopefully that lets you guys know why I love the number so much. Why choose? Huh? Why choose? Well, because sometimes numbers want to choose. Like Lisa Marie V. Mills is like, I'm a social kind of gal. I'd love to have that power and the love in the business, and let's just go. That feeling could show up very powerful right now. She may want to change it later. Who knows? But I can't presume to think that just because it's a wonderful number that you want it as well. You may have something else in your chart. And I don't want to sit there and give everybody 2 letters. It could be weird for some people. So hopefully that kind of describes it. But Brianna's definitely felt the vibe with Brianna Witahira. I'm now feeling it also with Brianna Lowe Van Ruyen. Okay, so yeah, if you're looking for it, you let me know. So what we'll do is we'll keep business like this, and let's put the LO in here, and then we'll put it as 1, just so we can keep it nice and easy. And let's even this thing out, and then that way, if you want to change it later, you can. But look at this; it's the same thing. So if you could take one or the other, they're both 876. So in case you're like, perfect, hey, I don't have to choose. I can stay this way on mine and and do the other on the other. You're still running the same vibe, okay, Brianna? So you don't have to choose. So it's a wonderful feeling that you can get there both ways. James says, I want that too. Love my kids, want to do big things, build schools, need big bucks. So where is that? James Peter T or James T. Peter? Or no, here, James UG or James UP or James UY. That would be the easiest way to even those up, okay? We could look at words like Jamie if you want to, if you're feeling something like that, but let me know if it's going to be one or the other or if we're still searching. Because if you're like big bucks, hey, I'm thinking about this stuff, I want to do stuff, then absolutely. Building schools, you're looking at something that's like this would be powerful. These would also be very extreme, but they would take a little bit longer. I love UP. Okay, so James UP Matisik, okay? And we're going to do this here at the same time. We're going to use it up. So James up Matisik. You could spell it that way. You could move it around in case you want to. It's totally up to you. But here we go, and we're going to use it this way. You can use this to introduce yourself. You can get business cards with these. You can put this on your call display on your phone. This is looking sexy, guys. We're almost there. Marina, you got a chance to do this. You had this for a day or two. Okay, this has already been a couple of days now. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Do you like it? Has it been a good feeling so far? Maybe it's too early to ask. There are other options for you. Marina Anor, that vibration says leadership, passion, and a business. It can be very, very social and outgoing. Maybe not so much based on the life of the name path you have. My personal pick, because you have a name that actually looks and says Marina Mweki 696, you were born in that. MX, you could choose a couple of letters. There could be because it was Marina M, I believe, right? So it could be MX, it could be MF. Marina MF Nor. Okay, so that's cool. How about MO? It could also be, instead of M, it could be D. So it could be DX or VX. So you have a choice between the letter D, M, or V, or I'm happy with MX. Thank you. Appreciate you. There is a power inside of this that matches you to the original form of your, there's a reason why you're like, dude, I like this. And I feel the power of it. It's because you were born there. You're reclaiming the master version of you. There will be a strong level of leadership and a strong level of love that absolutely wants to grow and help other people grow. This is a teacher, a leader, a powerful person that wants to say things with purpose. you won't just talk out of your butt, okay? You want to say things with power, and you want to say things with purpose. This is a good number for that. And the 7 inside of you will be very intuitive. So we have a sincere balance, and because we already did this with her earlier, so what we'll do is we'll leave it with Marina MX Nor, both business and there. What about Carolyn Smith McLean? What was it? Taylor, Carolyn Smith McLean, leadership, dream big, grow wealthy. Let's not. let's change this. Hopefully you're okay to drop the rest of this. Let me know, Carolyn. Do you want to? Or is this like in the way you absolutely, yeah, it's too long. Okay, thank you. So look at her name. She's got a balanced name that says Carolyn Taylor Smith McLean. You are a natural walking alignment, okay? If you want, we can figure some things out here. See, I even put a BK or T on top of this, but let's work. We have to, unless that's the one, we're going to work with another set of names. So it could be Smith McLean, Carolyn Smith McLean, and it's going to be tough to beat Taylor, but you want to go big, okay? I get it. So let's see. Do we go bigger than Carolyn Taylor Smith McLean? Let's go Carolyn Smith McLean. So we're going to get your full vibe showing up. And then the motive here, how big do we want to go? Life Path 11. Okay. Man, this is such power. Like think of the position that I'm in. Like I'm going to sell you a name. Like the trajectory of your life depends on the advice. Please follow your intuition, guys. Don't just take my own advice for this. You have 2 spots where this is going to work, Carolyn. One is going to be with the letter J or S. J or S takes you here. So Carolyn J. Smith McLean, Carolyn S. Smith McLean takes you there. The other one is going to be C or L, take you here. C or L. You have a vibe, be able to use that there, and that means the letter U also has a vibe here. So it's the same thing as Marina. So let's talk about these real quick. You want to go big? You want to do some stuff? You want to get really, really crazy and very powerful? BK or T we're taking out of the mix now, okay? You have there's a journey here. This could be 1 name, 2 names, 3 names. The U, Carolyn U. Smith McLean, okay, says, let's get running. Let's get started. I want to move things fast. Lisa Marie V. Mills, get me a spot on your car. Let's run. Let's make sure this thing gets moving. I'm going to hit 6A in 6 months, and I'm going to run right now. I'm going to be super passionate right now. Let's move it. Then the next vibration would say, okay, Mama Bear comes in at 6A, comes in at 4A, at 5A, the J or the S. I'm a queen, I'm a woman, I'm a family, I want to help people, I want to move things, I want to teach, I want to public lead, I want to speak. I also want to have a love life. I also want to have a family. I also want to have a power couple. I want this name to melt into my partner's name, and I want to be power as a couple. I don't want to do this by myself. This is the power of the 966, guys. So we have power in communication and power inside of balance. Wonderful vibe. The next one over with the C or the L says, kids, hubby, wait at home. I'm going to go change the world. I'm going to go change the world. Oh man, there is a lot to think over. I would say that there's going to be a piece of you who wants to look at me. I have the F. Okay, I took the F. I didn't take the X. I have a choice. There's a way for me to go higher. I have an ability to go up and to take something else. I didn't want to go this low or to this direction. But the feeling in there is to think that there is a power inside of what could be, but what I need right now is my family. What I want right now is the success there. You may be thinking long term. So let's think long term for a second. Right now, is Taylor big enough? Yeah, Taylor works. You if you go this 786, it's right here. This is putting Taylor. Okay, so you could run Carolyn Taylor Smith. I think that feels right. I appreciate you running through the authenticity of what's happening. Is to think that this is the name that you should be using. It's hard to give someone a name that doesn't have anything to do with their name when their name is powerful. This is alignment, my people, my loved ones. This is powerful. Take that thing in. Just to think, what's going to happen now? Ugh. First of all, we keep the mastermind going. That's an exclusive space for you guys to use, to talk about numbers, to talk about numerology, to talk to me, to stay motivated. This is big, Caroline. I absolutely agree with you. I would love to open this up to any questions, any insights. If you guys want to dive in a little bit further, we're approaching the 3-hour mark. 90 minutes, hey? 60 to 90 minutes, hey? Got 20 people here. You're all with me. So I guess I have to stop saying it's a 90-minute session. And imagine what happened here. There were more people here. Who was the one that said that we wouldn't get enough personal attention? Good move. Good move. Whoever did that, thank you. I'm like, fuck, I gotta sit. I have to limit this to like 10 to 15 people. So private sessions, guys, I'm just going to make sure that you guys understand that what's going on here. What I'll do is I'm going to answer questions as they come, but I also want to make sure that you guys understand how this thing works. So when I do a session for someone, is a 15-minute, okay, we've got half an hour. We can do a 60-minute. There are power couple numbers where we do 90 minutes long. And these are the time frames of the session with me. These are all in US prices, so they deal in different parts of the world. So I obviously want to make sure that it's fair to everyone. I'm Canadian, so try explaining that to my Canadian brothers. So it's $88 for 15 minutes. It's going to be $156 for 60 minutes or for 30 minutes. The 1 hour session is a $268 session. And for couples, it's $333. Okay. So because you guys are spending money to be here, we don't necessarily. I don't want to gouge you guys. I do want to work with you over and over again. I want you guys to be ongoing clients of mine and to absolutely help you guys flourish your teams. The next step between this would be taking a price for the 30-minute or a 60-minute session. So what we'll do is we'll just do like, I don't know, I'm gonna keep this powerful for numbers. So we're gonna do 134 if you guys want to do a 30-minute, or for the 60 minutes it can be 222. So if you guys want to hang out with me, this is exclusive to you guys. Okay, so if you guys want to do that, you can message me or just basically PayPal me directly, and this would be how it shows up. Okay, so if you're basically paying the 134, it'll be 134 USD. If you're going to pay the 222, it'll be 222 USD. That'll hook you up to a payment link for me. This one will be exclusive for you guys. I do offer discounts for the people who are running with me, but if you want to have personal attention, if you want to look into the actual chart and see exactly what's happening to the finite detail of showing this thing up, let's take a look. We're gonna pick on someone who is in here. Okay, how about Jackie? She's been quiet. So we're gonna go, not the right Jackie, the other one. Tofine, right? Nope, not the same one again. There we go. So we're gonna chance to take, that's a business woman, man. Look at the power here. Freaking epic. So we've got a powerful chart here. We get a chance to look. Jackie versus Jacqueline. What does Candace do? Where about Tofin? How about Reese? How does this whole thing work together? The amount of frustration to be locked underneath a name that doesn't say anything and to move a vibe into it to give you a vibration. I'm not sure which one you took, but the vibe there that wants to go back to business. We get a chance to tell your story. We record it, and you get to use this into your future as a way to benchmark your emotions, talk about limiting beliefs. Very, very powerful stuff. If anybody like Di, if you don't mind, maybe can't wait to see everyone's changes. Speak on that, guys. Anyone want to unmute themselves? Any of my clients want to talk about the difference between this and a session with me that goes long term? Jackie, I need a longer session with you. Absolutely you do. Absolutely you do. We want to dive in. That would be where we would go with the session, is inside of that. What about, let's see if I can find anybody. I know in the oh, did I just see these numbers? I thought I did. Di Green. But anyway, somewhere in there. Let's go back to these numbers here. So let's take a look at Marisa for a second, okay? There are different numbers that show up every year. These are cycle years, epicycle. You also have your own vision. You also have your own cycle. It would be nice to know where you are, where your hubby is, and where the world is. Is this a good time for a purchase of a house? Is this a good time to go traveling? No. Is this a good time for business? Yes. Business, yes. Business, yes. We want to plan the next 10 years of your life. This isn't a quick overnight feel. You guys have lives. This is great, cool, 3 hours, awesome, we did it. But what happens over the next 10 years, the last 10 years? Unbelievable to think what we could do when we grow into this, okay? Then we have not for the faint of heart, okay? This, where is it? Or for the scrolly. So there's a value inside of here. Where does it show up? Maybe it was 2014 or 2018 part 4. I think so. So let me just scroll through here to get it. Oh, where is it? Come on. Come on. Show up. Show up. Show up. It's showing up here somewhere. I know I did it. I know I did it. I had a group session and it's got to be here somewhere. Oh my God. Super embarrassing. Where'd it go? Am I missing myself here? I know there's something else I want to show you guys. Let's go and see if it's here. How about try this one? Come on. Okay, here we go. Not for the faint of heart. We have a mastery class. This thing I will teach you guys, okay, is a conversation that takes 4 days. It is a powerful mechanism to learn what this means and how this shows up in your life, whether it be for inanimate objects, planning out babies, marriage, purchase of things. To learn this language will change your life forever. This, what I usually do one-on-one for my mastery course is $26.99. But if I get 10 people, it's only $22.22. If I get 20 people, it's going to go down to $18.88. So I can wait until I have that many people who are willing to do it. Right now, I've got people lining up for this session. So I can only take a few more before it starts pile driving over into here. But this is a max of 10. I won't do more than 20, okay? But the value shows up, and this is a single person's price. This is what I'll do for you guys in case you guys want to come into a session with this. 4 days, 3 hours a day, sometimes 2 hours a day. We learn everything we can about vibration and what works, what doesn't, mastery, the numbers, how to add them, how to look at them, where they show up. It's a powerful technology, okay? This is what I built my life on. I want to teach people how to use this. There's a sacred feel in this. This may be for you, may not be. Right now, let's make some money. Right now, let's focus on an Enagic business. Let's create the wealth that you guys are supposed to have. I absolutely believe that this is serious. This is not a game or a joke. Questions? Do we have anything that anybody wants to say before we start closing this thing off and letting me go to sleep? It's 3 in the morning. Let's see here. I'm going to take a look inside of here. Love your great names, guys. Love your choices. I'm looking forward to seeing them come up in my news feed. Absolutely. Watch the change in you guys. Watch what happens over the next 6 months. You'll become a different person. Just mark my words. I love it. Okay. Rita says, thank you so much. I totally love this. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see everyone's changes. Need a longer session with you, Jackie. Well, I'm going to open up the price for you as well. Okay. You guys have to let me know. Hey, I got a special price for you, Bobby. Let's do this. Rita, hi, Bobby. Yes, I totally need to connect with you on a long-term basis in the future. People like Maria White see me periodically, okay? People like Matt Jang and Aaron Fraser and Balaj and Clint. Guys, where are you going in the next 20 years? Get real. I'm going to send your reports to you all now. The experience continues. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do this while I'm here so that I know that I don't miss it. And that way we have it, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to send everybody's reports to them, and then that way you guys can continue this, because I know your minds are like, oh my God, what the hell? This is crazy. Bobby, you blew my mind. I need to figure out everything about this. So I've already prepared them, and what we'll do is we'll send them. Please, guys, when you get your reports, confirm the dates, confirm the name, the spelling, the birthday. I know that a few of you, I had to make some adjustments that I forgot to make. So in case I have the wrong name, I appreciate you, or the wrong birthday. It could be the birthday mixed or matched. That I appreciate your patience with me, okay? Ignore the message I sent you in the group chat. I just found a way to download my charts. Thank you. I'm going to take a longer session with you, Sandin. I absolutely appreciate that. An epic session. Thank you, Nikki. Definitely want to do a longer one. Do you do couples? I do. So let's just do a couples price, okay? $299. So in case you guys want to come in with a 90-minute session for the realize why your husband's so crazy or what the hell's wrong with them, the feeling will show up inside of this. Thank you. Couple sessions. Cool. Amazing. I love everyone's new names. Bring it on, brother. Absolutely. Okay. So first person first, we're going to go into our chart here. I'm just going to make sure I have it. And we're going to give Sandin hers first. So I'm going to message you, Sandin, and we're going to send yours to you. So what we'll do is we'll just take a look here and make sure it's here. Oh, sorry. I have to do it here. So Sandin first, and that way I can actually just keep a lookout to see what's actually showing up here. Am I still sharing my screen? I'm not. Okay, cool. So any other questions? Already feeling the spirit of our session. Love you, Mano. Absolutely. Cool. Okay, so we have Sandin U. Johnson. I'm going to send your file to you right now. You're graduating here. My best wish for you is that you find the value inside of your chart to learn about the power of the ferocity of your life path. There is an adventure inside of you, and I don't ever want that to ever die. You have to always think about, you'll get the next one. There'll always be power. Everything works out for you, always, okay? This is where that number wants to take us. So I'm just going to quickly put yours in there, and we have Sandin Johnson. There you go. What about Brianna? So now Brianna is going to come up. I'm going to give you a vibration as well. You're an angel, okay? You're going through a fight in life. There's transition. There's always change. Don't forget to go and travel, go on road trips, to make sure that you do stuff and you go places. The 5 wants to keep you moving. You also have a very large heart to care for other people. A Life Path 11 cares too much. Don't forget to care about yourself. You're the most important person in your life. Like, without you, you wouldn't exist. Now, James comes in. There are a lot of people riding on you, okay? There are a lot of people depending on your stability and your structure and your discipline. Do not cut yourself short. Don't get caught in the details. Think bigger picture. You want to do the big thing? Talk about it. You want to build the schools? You want to go off into the place? Get it into words. Make sure people know, okay? The same thing I have to say about PETA is the value of not letting the, so James has his. For PETA, we see that you're an angel. This can show up very difficult to live life. I get it. But never forget that people look up to you. People will find peace in you. They're going to find like their leader within you, and you're going to work hard. You absolutely are not going to be afraid of like standing up for what's right. Okay. Heidi says, I have to fall asleep after he's, I have to follow up with Bobby after he's caught up in sleep. Absolutely. I appreciate you. There's a baby in my house. We kind of don't sleep at this time. So absolutely there. Peter, you've got your chart. I believe in you. And if things get tough, it's because you chose a tough life. Let's just be honest. Helen is not here, but she's going to get hers anyway. Let's send her a nice little gift for not being able to connect with us. And we appreciate you, Helen, for showing up or for at least wanting to be a part of this. I have Helen Reed here for you. This is a nice little preview for your chart. The message I have for Helen, have fun. People may not always see it. You may not always be so lighthearted. There may be some more of that serious vibe inside of your chart. Never forget to have fun, okay? That feeling is there. That feeling is inside of your life path. 2019 is a fun year. Lisa. Now, Lisa Marie V. Mills. Okay, so we're going to go here. We're going to give this one to you. And we're going to give you a chart here that says travel, move around, keep the ambition high. Don't get caught in a rut. Don't get caught in one space. Keep things moving. Keep things light. You bring love to the table. You bring joy to people. There's a value of wealth waiting for you at the end of this new name. Use it with lighthearted joy and care for others, okay? Rita, I don't even know what to tell you. Rita, you are like, there's something different about you, okay? I understand your name or your birthday now. I get it. You were born on the 22nd. It's a typo. You were there, 17. Your birthday's been the 22nd for a very long time. So I understand that it's your birthday. There is no missing of this. Your life path 8. You are a wizard. There is a wizard inside of you that needs to get very connected to the law of attraction. You must not take your words for granted. You must understand that what you say has so much power that I've not ever seen it before in the terms of seeing this 999 and the 797, quadruple 2s, life path 8. It's just something else. So there are certain souls out there who are dealing with a little bit more than their average. You may qualify for someone who wants to come and take a seat with me. I should rightfully change your group color because you are actually a life path 8, okay? Now let's take a look at Tracy. I'm going to send Tracy's for you as well. Tracy, let's make sure you've got your chart. Let's talk about this life path 3 for a second. There is a love that you bring to the table, and there is a power inside of your power, if that makes sense. You've got structure, discipline, and care, and you wrap it up. These are good names to have. It's a good value to have. I would say that keep fun, keep control. Don't have too much fun sometimes. Balance things out a little bit and make sure that you absolutely, yes, Lisa Marie, I'm going to change your chart. Sorry, I'm going to make sure I change it. I'm going to make sure that stays like this. And thank you for reminding me. I knew it. I knew I missed one. This was a late change. But for Tracy, let's make sure we have it. I'm going to send you yours, your report. And guys, remember, making sure that if I've made a mistake that we correct it right away. In terms of like the mistake I made with September to December, 9 to 3, it's not, or to 12, it's not going to be that big of a deal. You're still readable. But by the time you get to the point where it would be a big deal, I will have changed your report, okay? So Tracy, here we go. I'm just going to quickly turn it like this. Tracy Kerr McClellan. Sorry, it wasn't written properly. So here it is. Okay, so I'm going to send it to you now. You've got it. Best of wishes, best of luck. Have fun. Follow the structure. Follow the discipline, and balance the two out. Marina. I've been enjoying your presence in my life. I appreciate you stepping back into the power that you were born with. This is your life path, the name path 696. The fact that it comes back for you now, it's a reclaiming of the throne that you originally held. The number Marina Noor was moving into the opposite direction and keeping things a little bit more sporadic than you wanted it to be. This brings the power back to you. So please, I enjoyed this report. I appreciate this. Carolyn, my sweet Caroline, my life path buddy, the other angel inside of this chart. Okay, I'm going to give you your chart here. As soon as I find it, Taylor, where are you? Taylor Smith McLean. I'm going to give you your chart here. As I give it to you, I want to, where is it? Oh, I ran out of time when I was doing it. So let's write it, let's generate it for you right now and make sure I have it. I knew I forgot, I didn't get all the way through to the bottom. So we have Carolyn Taylor Smith was how you were born. Okay, so we're gonna absolutely, you were laid in. Okay, great. So thank you. That's where it came from. So you had Elizabeth Taylor Smith is how you were born. And today, it's Carolyn Smith McLean, okay? So we have a value inside of here that shows up, and then you have your birthday showing up as the 21st of March, 1985. Cool, okay. So I'm generating your report right now to make sure I have it, and if the details show up a little bit awkward, let me know. But the goal I have for you is don't let the world weigh you down, okay? Don't let the value of powerful experiences that go on to happen inside of life ruin the vibe of what master you came here to be. We're born in 85, so we've still got a lot of time left to go, but there's a wondrous feeling of you showing up for other people and helping them find joy and helping them find a place of power. So when I get your chart together, I send this with so much love and so much power to see that you're not going to be caught underneath the negative vibration of negative experience. Absolutely. You're a hypnotherapist. For Pete's sake, get me into your chair. Let me know how I book in with you. I want to go in there. And just please don't tell anybody what we talk about. Just kidding. Actually, no, I'm not just kidding. But absolutely, I would love to connect with you with that, okay? So hypnotherapy, right up my alley. I want to send this to you as well. I'm just going to quickly message you, and I'm going to send you your report. You guys have all successfully graduated from your group alignment session. Only 15 minutes over 3 hours. Any other questions, guys? Anything else I can answer for you other than thanking you profusely for allowing me to be of service to you guys? I hope to see some amazing things from what happens next. I will post a replay. I will absolutely give you guys a link for this. I hope that you guys use it, and I hope that you guys revisit this often. And if you ever need me, I'm here for you, okay? So with that, I will thank you guys so much once again. And I'm going to do a quick little groupie. I'm going to do a selfie here just to make sure I have it. And that way, I'm going to try to do is fixing your hair, making sure everything looks good. Everyone's like, hold on, get my baboon pose. But you guys do me the greatest honor by allowing me to be here with you. And this is it. This is our class. Cool. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much once again. You have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you guys at the top, okay? Cool. All right, guys, take